Hi everyone. Uh, Welcome to the Sunday Speedrunner Spotlight. Recording this well in advance because pace and stuff. I'm busy. You know how it is. Uh, we have professional keyboard typer Shay today. Hello,
Hello, hi. It is me, the guy, the person,
the person.
the runner.
Yes, you do run. I've heard.
Actually, I am terrible at running, but I'm good at speedrunning.
Oh, yes. It is important to clarify sometimes. I know the public eye gets very confused. So
Yeah, I know, right? You really expect me out on track?
yeah, I mean, it's all the difference of one space. Just everyone goes haywire, has no idea what the difference is. So, play a lot of Undertale, Deltarune. I think that's about it though, right?
Yeah, I mostly speedrun those two games.
Well, I'm sure there's plenty to talk about there. We can start with what got you started into those games and speedrunning in general.
Actually, they weren't the first games I ever speedran. The first game I ever tried to do a speedrun of was actually Zelda Link Between Worlds, but I couldn't record it because 3DS capture cards are like, well, they were too expensive for a broke ass college student at the time, and now they're too expensive for anybody.
True. Very true.
So that never panned out. Just waiting for that re-release on NSO.
Yeah.
But I got into Undertale because I remember I watched TGH do a lot of speedruns back in the day, and I was
Mm.
like, "This looks cool. I should do this." Undertale is one of my favorite games, and I was streaming Undertale one time, like just casually, and someone came into my Twitch chat and was like, "Hey, you want to learn how to do the punch card stuff?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure. This seems fun." And then I started speedrunning the game, and everything snowballed into being what it is now.
Yeah. Just kind of one of the best. At least first or second place in like most categories, I think, right?
Yeah,
So,
those
pretty good.
times still somehow have held up.
Yeah. I don't know how popular the game is to run. Like, how many runs are on the board?
Quite a few. It's a pretty popular game.
All right, so just more impressive that way.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, dedicated a lot of time to the grind back in the day. Not too much anymore because I'm washed up. I'm a
Mm.
speedrun content creator now.
The classic.
My world record competition days are over. I actually make money now. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, world records do not make you money. Unfortunate. Very
Yeah.
sad.
Well, unless it's for like Mario 64 or whatever.
True. Yeah. Not even Mario 1, just it doesn't matter.
Well, as we know, that is the only game that exists is Mario 64.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, yeah. Like there's tons of other Mario, but it doesn't matter. There's tons of other 3D Mario, still doesn't matter.
Mario Odyssey is like the coolest game ever, and people ignore it. I don't understand. That game is so sick.
Oh my god, yes. I mean, I've talked to so many people that run that game, and I've always said like it's insane. Like Mario 64's notches. That game, you have no notches, complete 3D, like just anything and everything matters, and that's ridiculous what they can do with that.
Well, I feel like if I ran that game, I'd notch my own controller just because I miss notched controllers. They need to bring those back.
Mm. Yeah, I know there's like some custom modifications you can do to stuff like the Switch Pro and stuff.
Because I always like whenever I'm playing a game with full analog control, I'll press directly up, and I can never tell if my thumb is slightly going to the left or if my Joy Cons are drifting.
The classic Joy-Con drift.
I'm pretty sure it's my Joy Cons drifting.
When in doubt, blame the controller. That's the important
Yeah,
thing to
that's
do.
the speedrun mantra. It's not your fault. It's either the game or the
Never
controller.
exactly. But I mean, yeah, the Switch has its own slot of issues,
Honestly, the
especially when you do
atmospheric
wireless.
pressure caused extra input latency to my monitor.
True. Yeah,
That's what's going on here.
definitely. But yeah, I've tried Odyssey myself a little bit. It's hard. And then like Tyrone especially, I don't know how he does what he does. That's just ridiculous. So I'm used to like the whole 2D D-pad easy stuff. No, don't have to do anything hard minus, like 20 frame perfect input things, but at least with your game too, you have pretty accurate controls with the keyboard, a couple buttons and
Yeah,
directional movement.
got the good old arrow keys. A lot of
Yep.
people say it's hard for them to adjust to using arrow keys rather than WASD for a speed
Mm.
for a game, which is interesting for me because I grew up using the arrow keys for keyboard games. I used to play all sorts of like very legally obtained
Hmm.
emulator games, and
Got
it
it.
would always be arrow keys and Z and X. So I just kind of
Mm.
got used to that like already.
Yeah. Actually, when I first started speedrunning, I played an emulator, and I think I used arrow keys.
Arrow key supremacy, honestly.
Yeah. So I was like doing, D-pad mimicking with my right hand, and then the buttons with my left, and I don't know how I did that because that's so wrong for being right-handed, I guess. Complete opposite of the controller. It's just funny. But yeah, I mean, arrow keys work.
That they do.
Can you set up the game to use WASD?
We do allow you to rebind it. You can't do it in the game itself. Undertale doesn't support any controller rebinds,
Oh,
which
really?
is interesting.
Yeah. Wow.
Deltarune does, but it's also like it sort of does because in order to get to the options menu to set keybinds, you're on the clock because you have to
Oh.
wait until you're in the game, and it's like, hmm.
Oh, so you just can't change anything like from the main menu.
Yeah, for Undertale we do allow like back in the day it used to be only WASD were the only keybinds allowed, but
Hmm.
we've wrote up like a hyper specific rule so people can like move their keys around if you have like a broken key or something like that, just so we're not giving anybody like an unfair advantage by like putting the keys right next to each other or something like that.
Yeah. Makes sense. It's important to have
Yeah,
rules in
it's like this.
place, but
I don't even know the rule. It's so hyper specific. It's one of those like rules that me and Ocean Bagel deliberated on for like months.
months.
It's like
Just which keys are okay.
so they have to be in a certain layout, but it's essentially so like I don't know if your Z key was broken, you could move to like A, S, and D,
I
or
see.
Z or X, C, and V rather than Z, X, and C.
Yeah, okay. So there's the arrow keys. How many like buttons are there?
There's only three buttons, but there's two of each. So we
Okay,
have Z and Enter, X and Shift, and C and Control.
got
And
it.
those are the right, Enter, Shift, and Control. You can use the left Shift and Control if you want, if you're some sort of like crazy sadistical person.
Mm. Yeah, I don't know about that one, but
Yeah, I met somebody who did that once, and I was like, what are you doing?
why?
How?
Why and how? Important questions. But yeah, so there's a lot of mashing, and I assume you like a lot of the same but keys do the same thing, so you can like mash like what, six keys at once then to mash through text boxes or something.
Yeah, well, you want to mash rhythmically in a nice piano mash fashion because, like,
Ooh.
the way it's not just like you hold down one button and mash another. You have to actually individually press cancel to fully complete a text box and then press confirm to skip to the next one. You
Mm.
have to do that for every single text box. So you have to do a little like, oh, that's your DMs. I shouldn't.
You want your really?
I just put a couple of ZXs in your Discord DMs. Sorry about that.
Fair enough. Uh, I'll look at that and laugh later. But
But yeah, you have to it's pretty timing and rhythmic based. Like I actually only go about like 60% of my maximum speed when I'm mashing because if I go too fast, you'll mash too quickly and the game
mm,
can't keep up.
interesting.
So
Okay.
it's about timing and it's like the most skill intensive mashing in existence. I don't really think any other most other speed games don't have stuff like that.
Rhythmic mashing. Maybe Contra runners could argue with you about that, but
Like, if the mashing was just like hold down X and mash Z and enter as fast as humanly possible, we'd probably allow turbo, to be honest.
yeah, that's fair.
Because, like, that's dog shit.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, carpal tunnel speedrun
So we
world
don't
record,
want to encourage that kind of stuff.
definitely. Um, what was I gonna say about that? So you have to can't you have to like oh, is it like so like the text scrolls, I guess? So if you push the button like it fully shows and then you can move on? Is that like
Yep.
why you have to okay.
Yeah, there's scrolling text. So you have to
Got it.
press
Okay.
cancel to full that out and then press confirm to go to the next one. And then you got to do that for every single one. You can't just hold down a button.
I've never realized that because you just mash so fast. It just looks like, oh, you just mash through. Okay, makes sense. So that's actually interesting. See, I'm learning new things.
Mm-hmm.
Very important. But again, I know next to nothing when it comes especially into the technical stuff. So I'm here to learn, get
That's
educated.
pretty nice because like it's not. People always ask like how are your hands able to speedrun this game? It's like it's not actually that intensive. It's not like sitting there doing this for
Yeah.
minutes at a time like some RPG speedruns, which that sucks.
Oh my god, yeah.
If your speed run is like that and y'all haven't legalized turbo, I don't know what y'all are doing. That is terrible.
Yeah, that would be painful.
The only reason Deltarune never had to have that debate because Deltarune has a button that automatically matches text for you. So we never
Really,
had to have that conversation for that game, which is great
that's so
because you know
nice.
everybody likes to be controversial about it.
Yes. Controversy, drama, the best part about speedrunning. At least to Twitter and maybe Reddit. But everyone else,
Oh,
shut up
definitely
about
Reddit.
it. Yeah. Oh my god. So many stories that maybe don't want to talk about, but maybe do. Who
Oh
knows?
man.
It's fun.
R/speedrun is one of the places that exists. That's for
One
sure.
of the places of all time I've heard, yeah. I have stayed away from that personally. I've never made a Reddit account. So I think some people have re-uploaded some of my stuff sometimes. I don't know. I don't follow it much because I know it's a good old-fashioned hellscape. So I
I like never use Reddit. I still have my old account, but I did go through my old account and delete all my old posts though, because I don't want people going looking at my cringy Overwatch posts.
ooh, yeah, can't have that. I was lucky to not really post on the internet until what, 18, so we're good.
I was like 15, 16, something like that. I'm almost kind of glad I didn't start making YouTube videos when I was that young.
Yeah, like start off with Minecraft before puberty, like a lot of people
Hey
have.
everybody, welcome back to my Minecraft Let's Play Part 16. I did some mining off camera.
Off camera. Wow, not dedicated to the full playthrough then. It's not a good mindset, but wow. Yeah, there's so many of those. And it's always
People will
like,
go to watch playthroughs on YouTube and they'll be like, "Oh, we did a little bit of grinding off camera." No, that's what I want to watch. I want to watch you play the game.
yeah, precisely. But yeah, it's always like 5 frames per second, unregistered hypercam, all that fun stuff.
I feel like people younger than us aren't gonna understand unregistered hypercam too.
I hardly understand it because I didn't watch content that used it, but I get the comedy behind it. Like I know
But like
what it would have been like.
people younger than us aren't even gonna be around for when that was like a thing.
Hmm.
It's so wild to think about.
Yeah, I forget like we're old, and I'm only 24, and I'm old in
Yeah,
speedrun
and Sam,
years. It sucks.
I feel old.
Old.
I mean, the person who have the best Undertale speedrunner right now, Mr. Link 2K, who's beaten some of my times.
Hmm.
Bro, 17.
Oh my. Okay.
I'm
I didn't
like,
realize he was that young.
I'm ancient.
Ancient. Old.
I don't know. I think it's kind of impressive that an old guy like me can still compete with all the youngins.
True. It's just weird saying like that we're old. Like I know people that still speedrun in their 40s and they're good. Like you can do it a long time, but so many of the people that like have all the world records right now are children. By that I mean like, high school or maybe senior time, but I'm going to call
I
them
was talking to
children.
somebody the other day, and they talked about how old the Star Wars prequels were, and I was like,
Brother.
mm.
Jeez.
It's like,
No.
yeah, those old movies that came out before I was born.
Oh no.
Ah.
Oh no. Uh every day now I just feel like I'm going to die of old age. Help,
Crumbling away into dust.
literally. Just skin's flaking off. Soon I'll just be bone. It's coming sooner than you might think. Yeah, I think just because so many runners are so young is because they have more time to dedicate to grinding. They don't have to worry about jobs or college. So I'm sure that helps a little bit. Practice 15 hours a day every day because nothing else to do. That's what I'll blame anyway. I don't have that kind of time to dedicate anymore. So let all the children run rampant and get all the world records, I guess. It's fine. Just
Yeah,
make content
can't keep
instead.
the genetics. Can't
Yeah.
keep up with them.
All the
Yeah, I
gamer
gotta go.
genes, they're too good.
You know, I thought I was washed up at Undertale, and then I nearly beat my pacifist BB the other day. I'm like, oh, maybe I'm not as washed up as I think I am.
Hmm.
Maybe I still got the sauce.
The sauce. Yep, still goated with the sauce. In fact, very good.
I mean, hell, I still have some world records. It's kind of crazy. It's like, yeah, I am still pretty good at this game, I think.
Yeah. How long did it take you to get your first record in any game? I
About a
guess.
year.
Oh, okay, that was
Because
fast.
I started speedrunning it in like the late summer of 2017, and then the first record I ever got was in August of 2018.
Hmm. I started speedrunning in late summer 2017 too. August.
Yeah, it's so funny to think that like I was about a year after I started running the game, like right around June, I was thinking about putting the game down because I was stuck at like I was kind of stuck with it, not really enjoying it as much. And then I went to my first GDQ that year. I went to SGDQ and got like really motivated to get
Hmm.
better because I was like, wow, this is really fun. I also PB'd in the practice room, so that helped.
Oh, your first GDQ was SGDQ 2018.
Yep.
Same. Are we the
I did
same person?
I
What the
did
hell?
commentary for Snowy's Undertale run when
Hmm.
that was there. It's actually funny because that commentary was very important. Not because the commentary was totally fine or whatever, but we had a couple of like older Undertale runners. I'm not gonna name any names. I don't want to start anything or whatever. But there were some comments about me not belonging on the couch, being too new. You know, would have been better to have other people. Blah blah blah.
Well, you
I had to
showed
go
them.
prove somebody wrong. You know, it
Yeah.
got me a little fired up. So if anything, I'm kind of thankful for them shit talking me because it motivated me to go become the best player in the in the game's history.
Yes, get wrecked,
it,
every doubter.
it
How dare you?
yeah, get him out of here.
But yeah, a lot of cool things for setting that practice room then. I got a world record in the practice room that year. I know a group
Ah,
of people that
what
got it.
game?
That's when I got one-handed warpless world record in Mario 1 for the first time.
I bet you I probably saw you, but was too nervous to say anything.
Um, it's funny you say that because back then I knew no one at all. So I literally just sat alone in the practice room almost the entire week. I
I
had a
only
couple
knew
days.
like I only knew the other Undertale runners. I didn't know anybody the first time I went. I was like, oh, look at all these big name people, and I'm gonna be nervous talking to them. It's like God. I remember
Yep.
when I met TGH for the first time. I was like, ah.
Uh,
And now I walk up whenever I see him. I walk up. I was like, hey, jackass, how's it going?
jackass. True. Yeah, I hardly talked to anyone that time. I had like my group of friends that I knew, but again, I was so new, I barely knew anyone. So
And
I
now
think there's like footage, like they have the like little footage they do at the end, like the ending credits where they interview a couple people maybe and show some stuff. And there's just one of me sitting completely alone in the background at one point. I'm just like, yep, that was me that week. Just
yeah.
going ham at whatever. But yeah, I'm glad I got that record. And then because of that, 5 years later at GDQ, I was able to do it on stage. And I had the most insane run of my life.
Yeah, I know that was crazy.
I will never understand how that went so well. I was like wasted the night before. I didn't get any
Maybe that
sleep.
was maybe that was the key.
Liquid courage really helping out.
I have a running thing where every time I go to get neutral glitchless world record in Undertale, I drink.
Mm.
So I'm 2 for 2 at the moment.
Oh, okay. So it is a
The
legitimate
last two
strategy.
world records I've gotten in that category, I've been tipsy.
Mm. All right. I know the strategies now. That's good. That's good.
Gotta, that category sucks so much that you have to drink through it just to be enjoyable.
Yeah. You do what you got to
So
do.
unfun.
Yeah. How many different categories are there?
So there's 5 main categories, but then there's like a bunch of misc categories and a whole boatload of category extensions that
Oh
people
yeah.
like. But yeah, the 5 main categories are neutral, true pacifist, genocide, neutral glitchless, and true pacifist glitchless,
Okay. So
which
just
are
yeah.
all pretty distinct from each other except for neutral glitchless, which is just budget geno except less fun
Mhm.
because it follows that route, except you just abort it at the very end and just go play the neutral ending that you get.
Okay. Perfect. Bless
Ooh.
you.
Oh, I got another one in me.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Here
I
it
got
comes.
another one.
Here it comes.
Woo! Oh
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
there we go.
All right. Got to clear those sinuses.
Yeah, that category is like play the bad parts of Geno just to not fight Sans. It's like
Rip.
it's so boring. The end game of it is so linear. Like both me and Link have one split for about a 20-minute segment, and we maybe lose or gain 1 second to that split maximum.
Jeez. How much of the
It's
run
like
is that?
it's like half the
Oh
run.
my god.
It's
Okay.
everything from after the fight with Undyne all the way through Hotland, all the way up to Asgore is like so linear because you're just walking.
Yeah. Can you get random encounters? I don't know how random encounters work in that game.
The ones you get, you're guaranteed to get
Okay.
every time, so you just run away from them.
All right. So is
This is
there like any luck in the game then?
in that category, yes,
Okay.
it's very luck based
Got
because
it.
any of the categories we have to kill enemies, pretty dependent on getting good enemy formations, good step counts, good enemy formations.
Oh,
Because
that's right. In
when you're speedrunning
Genocide, you
Geno,
have to kill everything.
yeah, you have to get to a
Okay.
certain amount of kills per area
Oh, and
before the
that.
game like
Okay.
determines that you're good to go.
Determines
So
that you're
you
evil enough. I
Yeah, so
see.
like in ruins, it's 20. So usually
Jesus.
you need to get the right formations to hit 20 as fast as possible. And that will be the majority of people's time in that category is sitting there in the first two rooms of ruins going, well, reset, go again, reset, go again.
Great.
Thankfully, the punch card categories, neutral and pacifist, don't have that much RNG to them. Ironically, most of it's in ruins because there are some encounters that you might not run into, and it's like 2 seconds per each.
Hmm. So, what is punch card?
So there's an item in the game called the punch card. It's like this joke item.
Oh,
You,
okay.
you go up to buy this healing item called the nice cream from this nice cream salesman. He's running this like special discount thing, and this is in the waterfall area. You buy nice creams, and he'll put punch cards in the box, and you bring 3 of them back to him, and he gives you a free nice cream. You
Hmm.
can also look at the punch card out of battle, and it like pops up on the screen. It's like this sad little text. Actually, it's if it comes, it can't. There we go.
Please,
Please,
please
please come
come
back.
back. Oh
Yeah, I
no.
have a bunch of my artist and a friend of mine made a bunch of punch cards for me.
Is that so you can just hold them up like, haha, quote.
IRL punch cards. This one even has the Japanese text.
Ooh, fancy.
But yeah. So when you bring it up outside of battle, it's supposed to be like this little sad joke, like, "Oh, please, please come back." What they didn't realize is that when it closes the menu to bring up the little like joke thing on screen, there's a frame in between that, and in that frame, cutscenes can activate, and then when you exit out of the little punch card thing, you get your movement back.
Oh,
So you can just use it to skip every cutscene in the game.
well, beautiful. That works out.
There's so much stuff you can do with it. It's like Undertale is a game that is held together by like loose nails, duct tape, and love.
Oh, good.
And it works, but if you just have like one little thing that lets you break it, the whole game just completely collapses.
Well,
And that's what the punch card lets us do. It entirely transforms the game.
sounds like it just
Becomes
held together by determination. That's what
Yeah,
it is. Okay.
he was very determined to make that game work. Like
By any means necessary.
yeah, it's a completely different game. It's like so antithetical to what a typical RPG speedrun looks like because it becomes super duper technical, like
Mm.
walking around, pausing and bringing up the menu on perfect frames to hit cutscene triggers to use the punch card on, and you got to mash through the punch card every single time, so that adds a lot of APM. You can, if you use the punch card on a screen transition, you can wrong warp into the next room, which puts you at the debug default point in the room, which is just an arbitrary point in the
Mm.
room. So you have
Interesting.
to end up doing that on the majority of screen transitions. You can frame perfectly time interacting with something in the one frame before the punch card comes out to interact with it and then store that text, and then you can do crazy stuff with that. It's like there's so much that you can do with this one little thing. It's kind of wild, and it turns it into a very, very technical game. And
Yeah.
it's why it has so much longevity as a speedrun, I feel like.
You said it's frame perfect to activate these things?
Yes,
Wow. How many FPS is the game at?
30.
Oh, well, okay, that's not as bad
Yeah,
as
it's
I
not
thought
60
then.
FPS at least.
I mean,
No, pretty much everything in that game is frame perfect, but like
okay.
not frame perfect as in the like arbitrary frame that you have to hit like a Pokemon speedrun or something like that, with one exception.
Mm-hmm.
But frame perfect as in like you have to time the input properly, but you get so used to timing the input properly that overflows don't really become an issue. Like everything's pixel perfect, but you really get a grasp really quickly for like where you need to stop. And you can
Yeah.
always menu buffer if you're a little off. Like if you open the menu like a couple pixels early, you can move and menu on the same frame. So
Hmm.
you're able to menu buffer onto cutscenes pretty easily.
Buffering. That that could be helpful. Not that I know
Yeah,
how the
imagine
buffering works.
imagine if your game had that.
It does technically. um,
Just not really.
not not too useful. Well, it is in like because if you grab like a power up, you can buffer a jump out of it, so you like jump again while in the air, and that is actually useful in a couple of spots.
Hmm.
Like in Lost Levels, maybe not the first game, but yeah, the other time is like you can buffer like a jump to maybe manipulate an enemy better in a level where it
Hmm.
wouldn't be, and because of how frame rules work, like you won't lose time from it. So it can be useful in that way, but
I'm unfamiliar with how that game's, if it even has a buffering system or not. I don't really.
mm-hmm.
I've only played Mario 1 like a couple of times, and every time I play it, I'm like, wow, this feels so heavy. Can I go back to one of the other games, please?
Yeah, it's a game. I like it, but
Yeah,
I
Undertale's menu buffering is pretty good. Uh, Sometimes the inputs aren't always in your favor because the game's input handling is not exactly the greatest thing in the universe.
mm, I see.
But it's not like, it's not as crazy as like Ocarina of Time pause buffering where you have about 6 years to get the right frame
Mm,
because it
wow.
doesn't run at 20 FPS or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Pal
it's
runs Ocarina of Time at 15. That's just painful. Yeah. That's
that's
half
crazy.
that's half an Undertale.
They're running at that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet frame rate. That's
Oh,
wild.
true. Yeah. When they're looking at the whole world too, and there's like all the Pokemon on screen. It's about that frame rate.
Moving at about 2 frames a second.
Mm-hmm.
Moving at that PowerPoint presentation.
Yep.
Is
That
that another thing that the kids aren't going to understand in the future? Do they even use PowerPoint anymore?
I don't know. I don't know anymore. I stopped using it after high school, so because there's
I
not
don't
much
even
of a
think I
use
have
for
it
it.
installed on my computer.
Yeah, I mean, there's the Google Slides. I
I
don't
feel
know.
like Google Docs has kind of replaced
Yeah,
Microsoft Office for me, but
well, because it's free. Office isn't free anymore, as far as I know, or
yeah, I
maybe it never
used to.
was. I don't remember.
No, it never was, but
Okay.
it's a subscription service now, just like
Oh, that's
everything.
the problem. Okay, got it.
Because God forbid you buy a piece of software for $200.
Yeah, like that's all
I miss
Adobe
those
products
days.
now. That made college fun for me.
Oh, well, it's a good thing that Adobe offers one of my favorite free pieces of software, Adobe Premiere Pro.
Yeah,
It's really nice that they offer that for free.
yeah, I know. I got it for free too. I was really happy. It's a shame it's such
Yeah,
an earlier version, but it works, so it's fine. It definitely works. I can't complain for
I don't
the
know. If
free
they
offer.
just offered me the software for like $200 and just gave me a license, I'd be like, okay, that's fair.
hmm
But they're predatory. Oh, you have to pay $20 a month forever. It's like, oh, come on now.
Or when I was in college, I needed to buy. I forget. Maybe it was Animate or something. I forget which one it was, but it was like $34 a month.
That's ridiculous.
And I was like, no, I'm
At
not
least
doing this
Vegas
again.
actually still lets you buy the software, even though it's like $1,800 for some reason. It's like, man, I'm not. Who
Yeah,
is this marketing towards? Like, come on,
Adobe's way
guys.
too predatory. I'm not a fan. So again,
Free
appreciate
DaVinci
their
Resolve is pretty good.
yeah. So I appreciate the free offering. That's the one good thing about them. Thank God, makes life easier. But yeah, I mean, Google that is free with your stuff, so just use that. Like makes life easier.
Yeah, we've moved like all of the Undertale guides to like Google Docs and stuff like that. We still have actual good text guides, which I feel like is important because a lot of
Yes.
speedrun communities just put all their guides in their Discord servers.
Mm-hmm.
and that's not for everybody. So we still have the text guide that gets updated, and it's really in depth and well managed, which is I feel important. And of course, I also made a video guide for any percent that covers
Hmm.
that with videos and explanations from me. Not always the best explanations because I have a well, actually, I think people like my second go at it. The first go at it was a little bad, but the second version is pretty good.
Well, that's good. Yeah, it's important to have stuff still on like SRC so people
Yeah,
can
all
find
of
it.
that's linked on speedrun.com. So
Yeah, don't just keep it held up on Discord. I think someone's like making a like database for strats and stuff on like this whole new website.
I
I'm
heard something about that.
curious how that will work. I'm sure it'll be good. But yeah, it's important to have things not just in forums or Discord posts.
Hmm.
It'll
Well,
get
people will be
buried over
like, "Well,
time.
don't store everything in Discord servers," and then be like, "Well, it's good to do it in forum posts." No,
No.
do it somewhere else.
Thank you. Yes,
It's like
exactly.
if you're like one of those I hate Discord but go back to forum people, it's like no 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 no. You're just old headed. Stop that. The
Mm-hmm.
actual solution is to have them independently stored so that if a service goes down, you're not tied to that. Well, unless AWS goes down and then we're all fucked. But
Mm-hmm.
that's
Well, let's not think about that
let's not think
possibility.
about AWS going down. That would be like the end of the internet.
The end of the world. Anyway, yeah, I've never been a forum user, so I was
I've
never
never
into that.
liked going
Yeah,
on forums.
I've just never been to them. I don't know if that's based or not, but yeah, not my thing. I mean, okay. Uh, I mean, Discord's good and all for like getting information quickly from people like then and there, but for
Yeah,
information
we have like
long-term
a strats channel
storage,
in the Discord server, but
yeah,
they should also be independently stored elsewhere.
yeah, I definitely feel that
It's a
way.
good place to confirm strats though with other people.
Hmm.
Like, hey, is this actually faster? Let's time it. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, it's
Which is something Undertale was infamously bad at before the new era. I like to consider basically after me as everything is like new Undertale speedrunning versus old Undertale speedrunning, where like strats weren't well documented. I think this is faster being used as
mm,
it's like ooh, a lot of things weren't properly timed out. It's I feel like a lot of speed games fall into that trap.
yeah, they can.
And, like
Uh,
people just will be like, "Why aren't we doing this?" Like, "Oh, because we never did it."
hmm. Well, do it.
Like I remember somebody found a double punch card overflow strat you could do on one of the puzzles, and someone else chimed in. It's like, "Oh, this has been known about for 4 years." It's like, "Well, why didn't nobody do it?" Oh, it was too hard.
Okay, document it anyway.
Yeah. I like now it's well documented. I do it personally because I think it's easier for me to do that than rememorize the better solution for the puzzle because I am a muscle memory hound.
Mm-hmm. A muscle memory takes over way too easily. This, like if you switch a category, you'll still be doing the other category. So that happened a
Hmm.
lot.
I when I switched when I was doing like a months long grind for Geno when I switched back to one of the punch card categories, I found myself stopping and grinding for encounters at the end of rooms. And I was like, wait, no, 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 that's not
No,
right.
stop.
The speed running term is wall humping, but
Oh,
this
okay.
is if you hold up and down, the character will go against the wall. Then because up supersedes down in Undertale, but
Okay.
when they touch the wall, they'll look down for a frame, and then the up input will supersede it again. So they'll just go up and down like ridiculously fast. It's
Every
not.
frame.
It doesn't get you encounters any faster than just walking around, but it is perfect. And also that way you can do it right next to a screen transition.
Mm. And it just looks funny, which is the
It
most
also
important part.
looks hilarious.
Okay.
We do that. It's total swag when like just walking around. You can just do that against any wall. I like to do it because I have crippling ADHD and I have to see Frisco funny spin
Fair enough.
whenever I'm walking to the next skip.
Yep. Hey,
I
you do
love
what you need to do.
it's very funny.
Yeah. Um, so I'm trying to understand Undertale a little better because again, I know like next to nothing. So wall humping, very funny. The punch card thing just sounds ridiculous, especially with how many opportunities it opens up for skips and all that.
It is kind of crazy. And all these inputs you're doing, give Undertale its reputation about being a keyboard smashing game for sure.
Hmm. Yeah, and it was cool to learn like how the text boxes work and that it's not just mash to win, it's mash very particular.
Yeah, like when you're mashing cutscenes, you don't just go like you're actually sitting here going, and
Yeah,
that
that
might
seemed
not.
very different to me.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
One of the skills that people always question me on is like, how do you move while mashing? Oh, I use my ring and pinky finger on the arrow keys while my index and middle finger are on shift and enter mashing,
Hmm.
and that's a skill that's hard for a lot of people.
Yeah, that sounds not fun to do.
I kind of had the advantage of being a piano player, so like my ring finger is a lot more developed than like
I
most people's
see.
are.
Yeah.
Most people can't do this.
I can do it with one hand. The other one struggles a little bit, but yeah. Oh, well, I don't, that's a little too complicated, maybe. Oh God, what is going on? Ugh. I don't know how I
You can see
feel about that.
my hands are
Oh,
very long.
yes. They can do some interesting things. What those hands do. Anyway, no, I'm kidding.
Ah, you sound like my YouTube comments.
That's the point.
Every single time I upload an Undertale speedrun, at least back in the day when I still uploaded Undertale speedruns on my channel primarily, it was just every other comment would be, wow, this keyboard is so loud, and wow, this guy's girlfriend must be really happy. Every
Yikes.
time.
All right.
I mean, they'd be correct, but like, it's still.
It's still weird. Like
It's like
TMI. Thank you
every
very
comment is
much.
like, geez, if I had a nickel for every single time I've heard that, I'd have at least like $15.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of nickels. I'll be real. Yeah. Gotta love very common YouTube comments, just very not original ever. Just never. It's like, haha, funny thing. Let's talk about it every video. Or like every joke speedrun submission I have to moderate. Those are fun too. But that's a little different.
Yeah, I love it when people submit like other people's videos as their own
Mm-hmm.
speedrun. Very funny.
I've seen my own video submitted under someone else's name. And I was like, hey, that's
I've seen
me.
mine plenty of times,
Okay. It
which
was
makes
only
sense.
once. Yeah. How many Rick rolls have you had to reject?
I don't think I've accepted or rejected a run in a couple of months. It's been a
Okay.
bit. All the other mods kind of handle that.
Got it.
See, it's
Well,
the benefits of my partner, Star Smiley, is a content mod for the site, and that's
mhm.
basically her job. So
Yeah, fair.
she handles so many of the runs, and I like don't really do that much, to be honest.
I mean, I've definitely stopped over
This was
time.
my plan as the super mod for both Undertale and Deltarune was to construct a team of people to do the work for me.
I see. But yeah. Anyway, my answer to the Rick roll is about 7 or 8, so wasn't sure how high yours was.
I submitted one time, but it was actually legitimate. We have this category on the category extensions called GDQ percent, and it's where you submit any runs that you do at a GDQ.
Oh.
There was no video for this run because it was in the practice room, but it was verified by the fact that myself and other moderators watched me do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I just submitted Rick Astley's video. I think I submitted one of them was Despacito,
Oh.
and then I did one what's the name of the voiceover Pete
Mm.
doing the doing the Ben Shapiro I pooped my pants copy pasta thing.
Oh. Okay.
The video is so funny.
GDQ percent sounds like a good time. I'll have to
Let me see if it's still up there.
browse the
Actually, let's see.
content.
Speedrun.com. Undertale category extensions. Oh, I'm not logged in because they log you out every so often.
Really? I've never been logged out unless they've like had a big site revamp or something. Hmm. Which I guess they have had quite a few of those, but not that I remember.
Yeah, this video. I'm not.
Okay. I'll have to browse. Now I'm interested. So it's literally just doing a run in the GDQ practice room, and
Yep.
it goes on that board. Okay, it sounds like a
How
very
did I
important
get a
category.
How did I get a 10-turn Asgore at GDQ? That's crazy.
Mm.
Playing on those, whenever you go to the practice room and you got to sit there and play on those monitors, a part of my soul exits my body.
Yeah, they are.
Because compared to the high fidelity setup I'm used to, you go to play on that, it's like, input lag.
Ah,
Ah.
yeah. Yeah, I've never used the monitors at the computer because I don't play any computer games probably, but
Yeah.
like
Well,
even
the ones
their
they have in the private practice rooms are good.
well they have to
Those
be.
the private practice rooms that have Windows 11 installed for some reason.
Mm. Yeah, I have
But
Windows 11. I don't know if that's a good thing. Probably
I
not.
also have Windows 11, but it sucked balls at first, but it's
Oh my
gotten
god,
better.
yes. I
I kept
hate
like,
all the icons when you try to like copy and paste now instead of it just displaying the text. It's like
yeah, it
what?
has a little icon. It's like,
Yeah,
no, let me
no.
see the text.
I've accidentally deleted stuff or like cut stuff or renamed stuff I didn't want to
The
because of the
first thing
icons.
I did was download a plugin that lets me get rid of the curved edges of boxes,
Interesting.
because that was like, well, it was really weird because it's bad for Undertale because you actually lose a couple of pixels in the corner and it's really weird to set up a capture.
Oh, yeah, makes sense.
Because it's fine if you use game capture, but there are some times where I use window capture because I'll have multiple instances of the game running for better loads.
Oh, I was gonna say you're doing the Minecraft strat.
We don't allow multi-clienting,
Hmm.
but our rules for multi-clienting are like, you're not allowed to interact with a previous game if you like if you interact with the new one, which interaction is loading your save file.
Hmm.
And then there's a bunch of like very specific parameters for Flowey because it bypasses that whole fight sequence bypasses the main menu. So you have to
Mm.
have like specific what constitutes as interaction, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
We don't want people sitting there because if you allow full multi-clienting, then you'll run into the funny scenario where you have two copies of Undertale open. One is dating Undyne, and the other is fighting Flowey
Mm.
for the true pacifist ending. It saves like 4 minutes. It's so stupid.
Interesting. Yeah. So I should probably play this game someday, given I've never
Have you
done it.
never played Undertale?
I know. No. Yeah.
Wow, you need to play Undertale.
I know. I've heard. I've heard
How
a
uh,
lot.
how how spoiled have you been on it?
I'm not someone who's very or who cares about spoils that much because usually I'll either forget or I would like to be informed. So like, oh, I'll enjoy this. I will want to get to this point or something like that.
You
Um,
definitely want to play it. It's one of those games
yeah,
I recommend like not knowing too much about before getting into it because
yeah, I understand that.
it's one of those games where like the discovery of things is like, it's like going into Fez blind. You ever played that game?
No, but I've heard of it. It's like the screen like rotates, but it's
Yeah.
still 2D or
It seems like
something.
a basic 2D platformer, and then like in
And
order to
it's not.
100% complete the game, you have to figure out crazy, super extreme meta level puzzles. You have to figure out the in-universe alphabet so that you could translate things to know what to do. It's like,
Oh,
wow. This is one of
okay.
those games you get like paper and pen out to write stuff down. That's that kind of game.
Oh, so it's an NES game. No.
But if you just like knew everything going into it.
Yeah, no. Um,
I think Tunic is a new game that does a lot of stuff like that too.
yeah, like the
Just games where you
Zelda
kind of like
Fox game.
want to write down stuff like, oh, let's decode the alphabet so that I can use it to beat another puzzle.
Oh yeah, they have their own alphabet. I've seen someone that like made a font for it. You could like
Hmm.
type and it works. There's
It's
like some
like
whole thing
really
to it.
getting into Zelda fanatics wanting to translate the Hylian alphabet.
I see.
I can't believe people actually have that alphabet completely mapped out and documented now. It's wild.
I'm not surprised at all. That's just the internet. Ooh,
What I'm
alphabet
more surprised
decode.
about is the fact that Nintendo has somehow been consistent about it over the years. That's
That
hard to
yes,
keep up with.
that's surprising.
That's like that's a lot of games.
Mm-hmm. I guess they made it and just actually use it, not just scribble nonsense. You gotta respect
It's
that,
a
I guess.
a lot of good insight on that
Mm-hmm.
to keep that around. Like, okay, we know that. I guess by the time they got to Ocarina of Time, which is where they started using that alphabet, I guess Link to the Past too, but they were like, this is a franchise. We're gonna need to hold on to this, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, most franchises started on NES anyway, so I guess they just knew like, oh, we can do better than the
I think by the
NES.
time they got to game number 3, they were probably like, yeah, this ain't going away anytime soon.
Yeah. I mean, Hell, they got 3 Marios out of the NES.
What kind of franchise would have 3 games and then never make another one ever again?
Uh, I know plenty of games that have had 2 and then never made a game again,
How do you
but
feel about F-Zero?
well, there's F-Zero, F-Zero X, F-Zero GX, and
Yeah,
then
3 games and then they never
well,
made another one
hold
ever
on.
again.
There's like a Game
Oh,
Boy
there's the
Advance.
GBA one. I can't forget about that.
How dare you for no, but I've never played it either, but I've actually never played GX either, but F-Zero X is like a game I had on Wii VC back in the day. It was one of my favorites. That game is really good. So I am an F-Zero fan, I guess, and I am disappointed that it is gone forever. Apparently, according to Nintendo, anyway. At least they have those AX machines at GDQ arcade, which are fun, and then you can like transfer data between that and GX or something. I don't know. Good franchise though. We'll never see it again. Um. So yeah. Anyway, Undertale. Yeah, never played. But I've probably seen a. Oh my. I just got a raid of 140 viewers. So.
Oh shit. Yo, what's up, everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure to follow my Twitter, my Reddit, my
Welcome to my podcast, guys. Hi. Um, just recording an episode before pace. You know how it is. Hope attempts went well. Thanks. Yeah, we're talking about Undertale, guys. You guys like that game? Woo.
Yeah.
Woo. I know nothing about
Type a
it.
message in your Twitch chat.
There you go. So, yeah, I guess I'll self-promote my podcast real quick then. Hello, I do this every week. I have a speedrunner join in and we talk about speedrunning for a couple hours. It's good times. I did an episode with Cosmic a long time ago. You can watch it on my YouTube. You should watch this when I upload it to my YouTube too if you missed some of it, because these episodes are fun. Would recommend. Anyway, so yeah, I'm pretty spoiled about it. Um, like I think I've seen the final boss fights. Just I've probably seen GDQ runs of the game. Um, so I kind of have that idea, but like more intricate story elements, I'm not too into like mid game stuff. I probably don't know too much about, like mainly just early and late. So that's about my understanding. And then like when it comes to the speedrunning stuff, I've seen runs of it, as I said, but I don't like understand it very well. So that's my level of knowledge to the best I can explain it. So, but yeah, I'll definitely play it someday. Like I've been told too many times to do so. So I'll listen to people eventually. There's just my backlog is like 300 games, so there's a lot to play. But yeah, there any other fun tricks in the game?
I think that the punch card like really encompasses like the majority of the skips.
Okay,
Uh,
I see.
pretty much like almost every single, well, not all of them, but almost every single glitch in the game revolves around it. There's like a very few amount of ones that you can do without the punch card, and most of them involve they put interactables right next to cutscene triggers, which is never a good idea.
Never. Yeah.
Don't worry, the Deltarune developers made the exact same mistake. So
Oh, at least they're
never
consistent.
never put things next to the interactables.
And
But
maybe they're doing it on purpose just for you guys, you know? It's possible.
yeah, you know what? Maybe they were like, you know what? Why don't we put the door that has the potential to warp you right next to an interactable? Let's see how that goes.
You never
But
know.
we yeah, a lot of the skips are really cool to look at. A lot of people will be like, huh, this is wild. Like, obviously, you can skip all the cutscenes, but you can do some really crazy stuff. Like, text corruption is always wild when it happens. If you text corrupt certain strings of dialogue, it all turns into the placeholder debug text, which is a line of dialogue that has a red smell text in it.
What?
It's black text on white background with a red smell. And so when this appears in a black text box on the overworld, you don't see any of the text except for the word smell. It's very funny.
Smell.
You'll just see like characters just smell.
Smell. Okay. That's interesting.
And then there's like
I thought it would have been
stuff
just
like
lorem ipsum or whatever. I'm glad they just did smell.
well, the dialogue is like wake up and smell the pain or something like that. But
Okay.
you only see smell.
That's all that's
It's
important.
it's because it's the first line of dialogue programmed into the game. It's the placeholder text.
Mm.
Which I'm kind of sad because we're 5 lines off having "I hate programming this" as the default dialogue.
Ooh,
That's in the game. It's just a
interesting.
line of text that just says "I hate programming this."
Pretty based.
Very funny.
I love when developers show their frustration in the project. I know that that's not the first time I've heard a story like that. Just, well, I think there's like some like Nintendo game that has like "fuck this shit" in the game or something. I forget exactly. I know there's like cussing like hidden in the hex or something.
Yeah, that would not surprise me. There's a couple of those in Undertale actually.
Mm.
There's a why doesn't this fucking work is in the game.
It's a valid question.
It's really funny too because the coding is like you'd think it would work, but it doesn't for that particular. There's like there's this moment in the game where a character is singing to you and you can like move around freely and there's supposed to be like little tiny text box comments like reflecting on your movement, like
Mm.
script stuff, but it doesn't play. But the funny thing is there was a game maker update when the game came out on the Xbox, which changed the way internal ordering was handled, and suddenly that like long dormant code just started working again.
Well, cool. They
And
fixed
I
it.
think they had to patch it out of the game because I'm pretty sure that dialogue wasn't rated by the ESRB because it wasn't supposed to be in the game.
Oh, so it'll just say in the game like "I fucking hate this" or something.
No, but like the actual intended dialogue would play.
Okay.
So it's like this long restored sequence that people thought they added it back in. Like, oh look, they added it back in, and no, they didn't. They didn't add it back in. It just started working miraculously. It just
Okay.
be like that sometimes.
I guess I was confused why it would change the SRB. Like,
Well, when it changed the rating, it's just that that particular dialogue I don't
okay.
think was rated by them because they
Got
didn't.
it. Got it.
It's
Okay.
not supposed to be in the game.
Got it. I misunderstood then. That's
But
funny though.
there's a lot of. I mentioned there was a frame perfect like timing trick.
Hmm.
You could skip one of the fights in the game by using the punch card to leave the screen on the same frame that the fight starts,
Mm.
which triggers a glitch that causes alarms from the room to not fade properly, and then you die to the fight in question really quickly, and then the game will respawn you in the room because you saved in it earlier. Except the game sees that the alarms from the fight are still active, and it's like, well, you either fought them and won or died. There's no other outcome, so just play the completion text box, and you skip the whole thing.
Very good.
Saves like 2 minutes, except you have to do a frame perfect timed input with
Oh,
basically no setup.
and I
So
assume you
we
have
use
one
flow timer
chance.
like a Pokemon speedrunner.
Oh, okay. Do
But
you
you can
have?
try it again, but you lose
Okay.
like a minute each time.
Oh, well, okay. That's not much better. But wow, yeah, timed inputs are. Well, I guess at least it's 30 FPS, so you got that going for you. So, like, that's the max the game can run on like any platform. So it makes it consistent. Is that right?
I'm sorry. I zoned out there for a second. What did you say?
It's okay. I was asking about you said the frame rate's 30 FPS. Is that consistent on every platform, no matter what you like
Yes.
your? Okay.
Yeah, it's always 30 FPS, except when it isn't.
Oh well, what's that about?
Well, if your computer sucks.
Okay, well, fair enough, but
But there's a room in the game that there's like this little room in Snowden and has this there's like this white square and you walk in and it actually moves snowballs aside to reveal the solution to the puzzle. The
mm,
thing is, every single snowball is not just like a little diamond or a little like hexagon. They are fully pointed circles. Like
what?
perfect circles, all of them. And that room
uh,
can actually cause a lot of instability for a lot of users because it's like surprisingly graphics intensive because it's trying to render like 80 perfect circles with
okay.
like a ton of points on them. And so like back when I used to have another graphics card that was overclocked, which made it a little bit more unstable, you'd walk into that room and sometimes the game would just the graphics would just stop and the
Oh,
game would just not load the room at all.
well,
And you just see this you'd see this red square on your screen and that's like the red square of death is like, well, time to exit the game and try again.
the red square of death. So many
Yeah,
red
that room
deaths.
gives a lot of instability for a lot of people. A lot of people, their game will slow down,
Mm-hmm.
which means that it's running at a lower FPS because game speed is tied to frame rate.
Got it.
Because we still do that in 2015 for some reason. I don't.
Mm. Don't question it, I guess.
You would have thought game developers would have stopped tying speed to frame rate in like 2001, but people still do it for some reason.
Mm. I'm not a game developer, so I
Just
can't
use
complain.
ticks. Like what?
I
What are
don't
we
know what.
doing here? I
I.
always dislike it when games are like, yeah, let's make it really hard to run this game at a higher frame rate for some reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting. Well, I'm glad. Like that means you can like run the game on any platform, right? Does any platform regard like give any certain advantage other than like mashing on keyboard? I guess. Oh.
What? Sorry, I was reading something. I'm.
Oh. Hey, focus up here. We're trying to
Hey,
podcast.
sorry, my bad, my bad. I got distracted.
How
Sorry,
dare you? No, it's fine.
ADHD brain.
No, I understand. So playing on other platforms don't like give any advantages, do they, other than like keyboard mashing, I guess?
So the leaderboards are actually split right now between legacy versions, which are way more fun to play, and
Oh.
every version after that, because when they added Japanese text to the game, they also rewrote the input handling to be optimized for console play, whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean. And it's dog shit. It's terrible. Absolutely fucking awful input handling.
Hmm.
Garbage. It's so unfun. Like you feel like you are weighed down.
Hmm. Optimized. Oh, that's my internet though.
Enter and Z aren't
Okay, we're
ah
back.
they aren't different buttons with the same function anymore. They're just count as the same button. So that means you can't press both at once. So if you like
Hmm.
are holding down enter and press Z, it just doesn't do anything.
Well, there you go.
That's the first thing. The second thing, a button has to be released for a full frame before the button can be pressed again.
Hmm.
So when you're
That makes stuff
mashing,
hard.
that means if you have enter pressed and release it, it has to be released for the rest of that frame and all of the next frame. And this is a 30 FPS game, so frames aren't exactly like nanoseconds.
Yeah.
So say you release enter at the very, very beginning of the frame. You have to wait for that full frame because that's still considered a press. Then the next frame to release, and then you have to wait all the way for the next frame to press. So if you happen to press in that frame that's releasing, your input is just gone, eaten, gone, and
Well done.
it is so bad. It feels awful. And the third thing is that those versions just have one frame of input lag,
Oh, great.
just one extra frame consistently. Nobody knows why. It just does.
It just do. Well,
Even in like mods for 1.08, which is the current patch on PC that fix the inputs, you still have the one frame of latency that's just there, and it's annoying.
hmm. So like top level runners
So
will do the older versions then.
yeah, but the Japanese text inclusion makes certain categories just faster because there's
Hmm.
some text that's unskippable. So the scrolling dialogue is way faster in Japanese.
Interesting.
There's this moment at the end of the genocide run where a character speaks to you in long, unskippable text. It is straight up 45 seconds faster in Japanese in one cutscene alone. It's like,
That is significant.
wow.
Wow. I haven't heard something like that. Usually that's like the difference of the entire speed run.
Yeah, no, just the one cutscene is 45 seconds. That,
Wow.
along with Sans monologue at the end, is a minute and 30 alone in those two cutscenes. It's like, whew.
That is
Yeah, it's
incredibly
quite significant.
significant.
It's
Wow.
quite substantial.
Yeah, I haven't heard
But
anything being like that
yeah, it's pretty
in real
wild.
life.
But yeah, those versions are split off because we didn't want people to have to play those versions to have the top times because it's just so unfun.
Mm-hmm.
So we just split the leaderboards between them. And also it ended up being that the old legacy versions are actually faster for punch card categories anyway.
Mm.
Because that frame perfect skip I was mentioning that skips a fight, can't do that.
Oh.
Because you can't do punch card text overflows where you frame perfectly press in the one frame window because the one frame window can't accept inputs
Oh.
because you just pressed Z the frame before. So you're
Yep.
literally physically unable. They didn't patch the glitch. They just made the inputs don't let you do the glitch anymore.
They
It's still like if you turn
unintentionally
on debug
patched.
mode, you can still do it.
Yeah. That's
And on
funny.
certain versions, you can use the console OS in order to do it actually, because
Mm,
it'll reset the pressed flags when you go to like the home menu screen.
interesting. That's funny.
So for those versions, 1.05 on PC is the fastest because they forgot to time a certain scene properly. It's supposed to like time up with the music, but if you turn on Japanese text, it's just 10 seconds faster. It
I
doesn't
see.
time up properly, so you get that time bonus over the other versions. But for Genocide, it's actually fastest on the Switch because in that version, for some reason, there's this elevator you have to ride near the end of the game, and it's like a 30-second goofy cutscene where you like go up the elevator and it's super long. For some reason, in the Switch version, you can walk in, walk out, and you're there
Huh.
because they changed the code. Yeah, like we looked into it, and the code was specifically written to do that. As like I can't even call it a glitch. It's not even banned in glitchless because you can't really call it a glitch. They wrote the code specifically to do this.
Yeah, they like updated it. They were like, no one wants to sit through this cutscene. Let's get rid of it entirely.
Yeah, it's like if for all of a game's life cycle, a certain painting was red, and then on a version they went into the code and changed it to blue. Like that's not a glitch. They
Yeah.
specifically changed it to blue, but then they changed it back to red for every other version. It's like what the heck?
Interesting.
It's like in the Xbox version, they just brought back the old code. So they, I don't know what happened
Maybe
there,
the
but you can
elevator
just,
broke the switch or something. Who knows?
it worked perfectly fine as far as we're all aware. So
Mm.
maybe there was some confusion or something like that, or maybe somebody got an email from support and like they thought there was a bug they needed to fix
Hmm. Interesting. Game
because
development's funny.
Toby Fox doesn't actually handle the console versions. I believe 8.4 does all the coding for
Mm-hmm.
that.
Okay.
Which I love 8.4. Great at localization. The localization is great. Just oh my god, that input handling.
I love 8.4
So
too. That means my speedrun's almost over. Lamau. I'm hilarious anyway. So
but yeah, that's why the versions are split.
yeah, okay, that makes sense then. Yeah, it's
So
good to not have to mandate the shitty version.
yeah, I mean it really just feels so bad to play. Like there's
Mm.
this famous video that I recorded of me walking into the first cutscene mashing fast, and there wasn't a text box progression for about 10 seconds, and I'm sitting here going, like it's just sitting
Really
there not accepting any of the inputs. Like, yep, this is fun, guys.
interesting. I need to see that clip now. I'll look for it later. That's funny. Um, how much different is like because I don't know if like Deltarune was I know it's obviously like a sequel, but I don't know how much it's based off of Undertale. Like how different is that run in comparison?
It's pretty different because it doesn't have like a world shattering glitch like Undertale does.
No punch cards.
No punch card. Chapter one, like the speedruns are pretty much glitchless. There's like
Mm,
small little things, but for chapter two, there's a lot more glitches. Uh, Notably, there's door warp because there's this. You can use doors in the game as fast travel, and normally before you're supposed to be able to use them, they're just empty door frames, but they put an interactable right next to the door.
yep, here we go.
And yep, just I'm just gonna overflow that real quick, and oop, I just skipped half the game.
Cool.
But the chapter two has like a handful of glitches. Like you can wrong warp in chapter two because of a small oversight. But then the developers did the most like giga based thing I've ever seen. Instead of patching it out, they patched it out for casual players. But if you're holding down the run button and the mash button, it still works.
Mm,
So they did like a speedrunner friendly, like we don't want to take this out of the game, but we
interesting.
have to take it out because casuals were running into it.
Mm-hmm. How
Because like
nice
the
of
main
them.
one that people would run into is in the very like in the intro cutscene in chapter two. Um, there's a door that would set your ability to use wrong warps, and so long as you just held away from the door while using it in the cutscene, which is super easy to do by accident, you would just pop up in the wrong spot in the next room and totally wreck the cutscene. And people were running into that, so they had to fix it.
Yeah, that's fair.
But then they left in a speedrunner back door, which I really appreciate them doing. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, you don't hear that a ton.
Because
More developers are doing like more speedrunner friendly things, which is
it's nice.
nice.
Yeah,
But
it's we actually have like some rudimentary communication between like speedrunning and the Deltarune team.
mm,
A couple of them follow me on Twitter actually, but
well,
it's really It's quite different from Undertale because I've never spoken to Toby in my entire life. I hope to someday. That would be wonderful. I have a lot of questions to ask him, but communication was very difficult.
Yeah, I'm sure
Like
Toby's a
we
busy
tried for
man.
a really long time. Like, hey, these inputs are broken. It would mean everything for us if you could just fix them in like a hot fix or something like that. But we even have here is the code that you need to put into the game to fix it. We already have it fixed. Can we just
Well, there you go.
push
Doing his
this?
job for him.
But yeah, contacting that guy is very difficult for obvious reasons, right? He gets hundreds of fans emailing him a day, like, what does this mean for the lore?
Oh no.
Who's this Gaster guy?
Yeah, I'm sure he just ignores everything nowadays.
He gets some pretty funny ones, like he posted one of them on his Twitter one time that was like, my son got to the final boss and now is crying. Why did you do this to him?
That I'm glad he got traumatized. That's just funny. No,
I think he put that as one of the reviews on the Steam page for Undertale, actually.
Oh, okay, that is based. I'll give him
He
that.
does some funny things. Like, oh, let me go check. Actually, I think it was like one of the recommendations.
This game made my child cry.
Like a sad. I think it was in one of the trailers. Actually, it's like, yeah, and then it had the marked as a satisfied customer.
Satisfied customer.
Yeah, I love the reviews on Steam here that he made for the game. The puzzles aren't particularly impressive. 10 out of 10 Destructoid.
Mm.
I have a couple of issues with the user interface. 10 out of 10 PC Invasion.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a criticism to be had, it's that sometimes Toby Fox doesn't know when to let a joke go. 10 out of 10 The Jimquisition.
So based.
It's so funny.
Yep. I mean, now I need to play the game with those reviews. This seems perfect. I
The system requirements for the soundtrack is one of the funniest things I've ever seen on Steam.
System requirements for the soundtrack?
For some reason, Steam makes you write down system requirements for soundtracks if they are individually released. So you get
Huh.
minimum system requirements for Undertale's soundtrack. OS, any. Processor, sure. Memory, 1 megabyte of RAM. Graphics, it's just music files. Storage, 1 gigabyte. Sound card, something. Additional notes, it's just music files. Recommended specs, OS, Windows 9 billion. Processor, very fast processor that can play 9,000 songs per second. Memory, 999 gigabytes of RAM.
Mm.
Graphics, special graphics card that makes music look like cool 3D for no reason. Sound cards that make the music sound like a live orchestra even though it's not. Additional notes, it's just music files.
Hey, he's
Windows
telling him
9
as
billion makes me laugh every time I see it.
Windows 9 billion. We'll get there someday.
It's a great game. I really, it's a fun speed run too. Like it's super easy to get into because since it's so centered around just the one trick, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like once you understand the one trick, you can do like a pretty good speed run with just some practice. So in that regard, it's like really easy to get into and then like obscenely hard to master,
Mm-hmm.
which is what you want for a speed run ideally.
Yeah. I can imagine the frame perfect stuff not being easy to
Yeah,
do
it
optimally.
takes a lot of
at start.
practice for sure.
Yeah. Frame perfect stuff, generally hard. I can attest, so. Yeah, but there's at least one skip you can do in one of the Deltarune games that garnered some like news articles and stuff. You know anything about that one? Zoned out again?
I don't. Sorry, could you run that one by me again?
Yeah.
I heard it, but I was like, huh?
Huh? Yeah, I just remember there was a certain like skip in Deltarune that garnered some like news article attention.
Oh, yeah. So
There it is.
we, the very first like day one speed run, like the first run that anybody did, didn't realize you could skip this like 10-minute long cutscene where two of the characters who are both girls have like this like flirty date type thing. And
Mm-hmm.
when I was doing my first speed run, I skipped the cutscene and dubbed it because all you have to do is just select the option and not view the cutscene. And I dubbed it lesbian skip
Perfect.
because the first run forgot you could do it. And I just kind of like joked about that. And I did that joke at the GDQ run. And people seem to like it so much because Kotaku wrote an article on it.
There it is.
To meet the lesbian skip, the quintessential Deltarune speedrunning tech.
All you do is select an option. I love Kotaku. Maybe for not the reasons they want people to like them.
But
for.
it's so fun. I woke up to that like I had like 20 people in my DMs sending it to me, and I'm like, there is no way. Of all the stupid bullshit I said in that run, that's what they focused on.
Yeah, just selecting a selectable option in the game is now
And
a
I think one of
quintessential
my
speedrunning
favorite
trick.
interactions to come out of that was somebody who retweeted it saying, "It's not even a skip. It's just a built-in path selection. You dope. I'm blocking this charlatan."
What?
And I retweeted it like laughing about it, right? Like I'm like, no
Oh
way
my
someone's actually like this. Like how the fuck do you block somebody over this? And my friend makes this like animation of one of the characters in the game saying it. It gets like 30,000 likes. It's so funny. Like people kept memeing about it. The guy who reached out to me, he was like, he actually apologized. And I was like, no, man, this shit's funny as fuck. You're good.
What the
You really,
author of
hit
the
me with a
article?
charlatan, bro.
What does that even mean? I've never heard that word in my life. This guy's spent
Charlatan, a person falsely claiming to have a special knowledge or skill. A fraud.
Oh, you're a fraudster. I see. Charlatan.
Yeah, the Kotaku. That was my pinned tweet for the longest time before I replaced it with the tweet about me getting the play button. But it's like Kotaku wrote an article. Meet the lesbian skip.
Beat it like
And it's like
a
the
new
most
character.
minor thing in the world. And I remember even like Lena Rain like commented on it, like Deltarune speedrun too fast for lesbians.
Oh well. This is the
I'm so
Pride
glad
Month
people enjoyed that
content
run.
we need right here. Is lesbian skip in-depth discussion.
A lot of people really liked my my jokes in that run, which I'm glad they did.
Yeah,
I was trying to
I
be
do
goofy,
remember
silly.
that was like one of the last runs of that marathon, wasn't it?
It's the second to last run. Yep.
I thought so.
They gave me good time.
Good time.
And yeah, I wasn't sure what was going to be focused on more. Me saying lesbian skip, me saying an NFT joke regarding one of the characters, or me doing a Ben Shapiro voice for one of the characters.
You did a Ben Shapiro. Oh no.
Let's say hypothetically, for the sake of the argument, I got in your way in a speed run.
Oh no.
Let's say, just for the sake of the argument, that you could defeat me in 3 turns. But in order to do that, you'd have to hit all crits.
Oh no.
That would hypothetically make it a 9-second time loss if you didn't hit all the crits.
I hate how perfect it is. It makes me uncomfortable almost.
Yeah, you get some. You get really good at doing vocal impressions when you do them. Like when you make fun of somebody for a long enough period of time, like you get really good at doing some of the most tremendous voice impressions that anybody's ever heard in the entire history of time.
I see.
Maybe the best vocal impression ever, except for Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah. A little secret I have is I've always wanted to be good at impressions, but my voice just can't do stuff like that. I just think it'd be so funny. I love like when people impersonate someone like play video games. Like I know AI does that now, but I don't care. I like when people do it. It makes it
I like
funny.
those deepfake AI memes. They're funny. So long as they have the consent of everybody to be used in them, they're pretty funny.
They can be, but I try to avoid some AI stuff because it just makes me scared, I guess.
I don't like using AI art that much, but I do like the AI voice thing, so long as, again, everybody has consent, or it's like the president. I don't really give a shit about their consent. I think they have bigger things to worry about.
Maybe a little bit. Yeah,
but like
most of them are the presidents anyway.
When people, when people use it for like voice actors or whatever, instead of just, going to them and commissioning them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't mind it for SpongeBob because it's not exactly like you can go up and pay SpongeBob's voice actor to say something for you. And also, he's rich anyway. Who cares?
What? I'm sure Tom Kenny's on Cameo, right? Surely.
I don't think he
Yeah,
is.
he probably isn't.
They wouldn't. They definitely Nickelodeon wouldn't allow him to say
Oh,
like,
that's
"I
true.
fucking hate this shit."
Well, no, he's done that. There I remember vividly this clip where he was talking about how he got the voice for SpongeBob, and it was
Oh
because
yeah,
of this midget
that
saying,
clip.
"I hate that I have to fucking work. I can't fucking take." And I was like,
It's
"Holy
the only
shit!"
day I get to fucking work. If
Yeah.
it wasn't for the Christmas shit.
Yes. I was like, "Oh my god,
But I
that's where
doubt
it
he'd do that at
comes."
request. I think Nickelodeon hates it when he does that.
Oh, I'm sure. And then, well, there's also there's the episode where they cuss, but it's like
I
the
really hope
blowhorn.
someday in my life I get to see that tape.
Yeah, they said
Just
they
the
were
original
actually
recordings,
just
they actually swore and then edited it out. That needs to be leaked at some point by somebody. I don't care
I
who.
think
I need to see it.
I don't know. I think Nickelodeon's got that like in 3 locked cases,
Yeah, they probably got that buried in the middle of the
6,000
earth.
feet underground. Yeah, I
But
don't
it'd be
think.
so funny.
Oh my god, I'd love it.
SpongeBob, me Bob, what the fuck are you doing, you stupid bitch?
Yeah, like at the end, Mr. Krabs, they like put 10 different sound things going on. Or no, that's all
Yeah.
16 or whatever.
It's all 13.
13.
And then he has 13 fingers.
Yeah. Well, what we can only speculate what the 13 were.
Have you seen that AI SpongeBob thing?
Oh.
They have like
Okay.
the running around and then all the voices are AI and then the Squidward talking about the heat death of the universe.
2006 Honda Civic, 2006 Honda Civic.
2006 Honda Civic.
Yeah.
August 12th, 2036, the heat death of the universe.
Yeah. At GDQ last month, I was at someone's room and they turned it on the TV and like watched it for 2 hours. So I unfortunately have seen too much of it. But I mean, it is funny. But sometimes it says things that I wish I didn't hear, so I try to avoid it. But the clips that appear on the internet, like they can be good, like those examples. I can say though, Kotaku will write an article about anything. They wrote an article about the first YouTube video I ever made on a channel.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I only have just the one.
The lesbian skit, but
Unfortunately, there weren't 3, so I couldn't apply for verification back when that was actually how you got verified.
Oh,
back
yeah,
in the day, when you got verified on Twitter for being a notable person and not for having $8.
The good old days. Yes. Yeah, I only had the one though. It was so, and there was so much like incorrect information. I'll give them credit for like going back and fixing the mistakes they made like a month later. They usually don't do that, but they will just write an article about anything, I guess. If they're choosing me in the first video I ever uploaded to a specific channel. It's weird. And it made the video do pretty well though, so I'll take it as a W. But you do the YouTube thing.
That I do.
You even have that silver play button behind you.
That I do. Nice and beautiful plaque on the wall.
Very shiny, very silver. We love to see it. So,
I'm surprised to have that this quick because YouTube kind of blew up because I played the algorithm. I used my speedrunning skills in order to propel my own content.
Well, there you go.
Now I'm no longer a speedrunner. I'm a speedrun content creator.
Ugh, gross. No.
Cringe.
Cringe. Disgusting. No, but I mean, that's the way to go now. I mean, all of my friends that are like famous on the internet did the same thing. So that's
well,
like
you
what
start
you have
realizing
to do.
at a certain point when you start doing this full time as a job and you're like, damn, I really like it when I don't get a 70-30 revenue split on twitch.tv. Maybe I should go to a different platform.
Smart, yeah.
I've really been considering doing some live streams on YouTube now, especially after that announcement, because like they announced the Partner Plus thing. I'm like, oh yay, 350, I qualify for that. Finally, I'm gonna.
No gift subs. No gift subs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Of course.
There's always got to be a catch.
Yeah, someone ran the calculations, and it only affects like 1,000 streamers.
Only 1,000.
Who most of them already have contracts anyway.
Yeah, true. Makes no sense. Twitch is one of the platforms of all time. That's for sure.
God. It's like what these companies think they can get away with when they have market share. Just look at Netflix. You won't have market share for much longer if you keep making these stupid ass decisions.
Yeah. Hey, we're on Twitch right now, but I'm still gonna complain about them. Don't ban
Yep,
me,
I am.
but yeah.
I don't want to have to leave Twitch. That's the thing. I like Twitch. I like the community
Yes.
I have on Twitch. I don't want to have to move, but it's like, fuck, guys, come on, throw me a
It's,
bone.
yeah. I mean, I feel the same way. Like, I mean, there's so many other like good options for money now, and then like the other streaming option that gives you a lot of money isn't a great streaming platform for other reasons. It's like pick and choose your poisons, I guess. I
Well,
guess YouTube's probably the best idea
I
though.
want I won't get mad at anybody if they go to stream on Kick because they want
Yeah.
more money. I mean, that's
Yeah, I'm not gonna get mad either. It just like
I
it affects
like
my
they're
morals
not
in a way
responsible.
where I would like
Yeah,
never do it
they're
currently.
not benefiting from gambling or whatever. And to be
Yeah.
fair, Twitch has had its issues with
Oh
gambling
my
too.
god.
So
Well, at least they
back
did
when
something about it
every
finally.
top stream was gambling,
Yeah, it's crazy.
and like yeah, the people at the top of Kick also are like morally dubious, but
Yeah.
so Twitch isn't exactly
Yeah.
you know.
I'd say yeah, Kick does things better. It does a lot
Like,
of things
if someone
worse.
wants to go stream
But
there, I think that trying to like play the morality card over going to work somewhere else because they pay you better is like, what the?
yeah. I
It's
yeah.
it's funny seeing so-called like left-leaning people do that too. It's like, I thought you liked workers' rights. What the fuck?
Yeah, I think it's a thing like you can be upset and not do it yourself, but you shouldn't be mad about other people doing it for monetary
Yeah,
reasons
like
because they're not going to do it for morality reasons. Like obviously if they did, they
exactly.
would
Yeah,
not
it's
be
like
doing that.
yeah.
I know how the person is. So yeah. But yeah, I'm just still in the too good to be true thing. Like maybe in a year it'll just all collapse unless they truly are making billions every month from their
I mean, listen. I wouldn't move over
crypto
there,
gambling.
but I'm not saying that if they emailed me and said they're giving me $1 million contract, I wouldn't move over there. I mean,
There are some things
they
that
want to
make
pay me
it
that
worth
much
it.
money. It's like, yeah, okay, bye.
See,
It's
uh,
like so long as most of it's guaranteed, right?
well, we'll see about that, but
Like I don't
yeah,
know, even if the company fell through, they just have to pull a mixer and honor the contract anyway.
true.
Imagine being like Ninja and Shroud, having signed these $30 million contracts, streaming on there for 2 months and then walking away with it all. It's like, okay, yep, that's the dream
That's
right there.
really how it went. It was
You
that
could just
quick.
it was like only like 2 or 3 months, I think.
That is insane. Damn,
Which is
make that
crazy to
bag,
think
I
because Mixer
guess.
was backed by Microsoft. You would have thought they would have had just infinite money to burn, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
you would think, but not so, apparently.
Speedrunning also has a really good like speedrunning also just has a really like good solid community on Twitch that isn't present on other places, I notice.
Well, Twitch and speedrunning like grew up together and they were always integrated, so it's
Hmm.
always like been interconnected.
YouTube has a speedrunning community. I'm not sure it's the speedrunning community I exactly want to interact with for that long because they're a bunch of
Yeah. Drama inducers.
SM64 Ocarina of Time are the only games that exist. GDQ bad, GDQ bad, GDQ. Okay, I get
GDQ
it. I get it. I
cringe,
get it.
yeah.
I get it. I get it. I get it.
Yep. I do get sick of seeing all that crap. That's why I've never really
So
done much there.
overblown.
It always
Like as
that's
somebody who
the
actually
internet
goes to
though.
the like, it's so nice actually going to those now because there's like no drama unless well sometimes there is, but outside of certain instances there's not any drama.
Yeah. It's very rare, and if there is, I never like interact with it. So, and I've never
Hmm.
have. I've never had a problem at a GDQ, luckily. But most, I'd say like 99.99% of people that go to there are great human beings. So you're probably not gonna have money issues if you go to a GDQ, which
Hmm.
is good. Good event. Would
No, yeah,
recommend.
it's nice. Yeah, I always enjoy going.
Yeah. How many of them have you been to?
I've been to all of the ones in person since SGDQ 2018.
Wow. Okay, so you've been to one more than me then. We started
Yeah,
going at
so
the
I went
same time,
to
but you went to 2019 summer. I did not.
yeah, I went to all of them,
So
and
you
then they
remember the
stopped being
murder
in person.
hallway?
That was in the winter, right?
Yeah, winter 2019 at that
I hope we get
one-off
that venue
hotel.
again. I want to see what it looks like without the murder hallway.
I really liked the venue. It was like the
The venue was really
floors
good.
full
The
of carpet.
bathrooms were so good.
Yeah, it was way too
Like after
fancy.
dealing with those dog shit showers at the Bloomington venue, you're like, oh, finally a good walk-in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and practice room like had these gigantic high ceilings for some reason. It was so open.
I do remember that.
The floors
I
were all
like
like the
the I like
soft,
the
mushy
2020
carpet.
venue a lot too, but they can't do it in Florida again, which,
Yeah, Florida
as a
kind of
Florida
cringe.
resident,
Oh,
disappoints me
well,
because it was in driving range and it was right across from Universal Studios. But
yeah.
Florida, Florida's having its midlife crisis right now, so
Mm,
I still
that
hope they
would
do
be
it in Atlanta this coming year. That'd be great.
that would work. Although
Just
traffic in Atlanta sucks balls. Oh my god.
it does, but also most people wouldn't be driving, to be fair.
It's
So
true, but I assume they wouldn't have like a shuttle service because they've really not been doing that much anymore. So you'd have to like Uber or something, and then you're driving in a sense. Not
well,
really.
the most recent one, you could walk to the train. The only
Yeah,
time I
that's
ordered an Uber was at the very end because I didn't feel like walking. I got
yeah,
my Uber to the airport. I said, I do not feel like walking. Just take me there. I'll
yeah.
pay.
You know what's funny is so that last day, uh I like didn't sleep that night because the event went till 6 a.m. That was fun. And then someone invited me to the Mall of America. My flight wasn't until like 8 or something p.m. So I was doing that, and then so someone was able to drop me off at the airport. It was all super nice. I walk in and I hear someone say Shayy, and I look behind me, and you're just walking to the like security
I
thing.
kind of
I was like,
appeared
oh
and
hi.
disappeared as I please.
So you were the last person I saw before leaving home
Oh.
for just that split second. So there's a fun story. It was while I was printing my boarding pass at the airport. So it was just
Oh, right. That's right.
oh okay, you do remember.
Yes, I
It,
do remember
it
that
was
now.
just
That's
so
right.
funny.
I was so like zoinked at that point, so I kind of didn't remember much of the airport.
Yeah, I mean, again, I was going off of like 2 hours of sleep on a chair in the lobby. Like it was,
I
I
was
was, yeah, exactly. I was out of it. So
I just had a long. Well, I'd been busy the day, but like the whole day, and my leg was giving me issues, so it was like it
mhm.
was a long day.
Yeah,
It
that's what
was nice to
happens
go
when
home.
GDQ ends at 6:30 a.m. Unfortunate. It went so far behind schedule. Made my run at a lot better time though. So I can't complain too much, I guess, but I still will. Cuz not that you usually get much sleep the last night anyway, but that just made it impossible because I like to see the finale. And the last few runs were pretty good, I thought. So, oh well. But yeah, GDQ fun, would recommend. How many times have you been like part of the schedule? I know you've been to all of them.
Um, in terms of amount of runs I've had, only two.
Hmm.
And they were both Delta Rune.
Were they both online?
One was online.
Oh,
I really, really want to run Undertale in person at a GDQ. That's like,
oh, they were both Delta Man. Was one like chapter 1 and one was chapter 2?
yep,
Okay, I see. So was the when was the other one then?
2019.
Summer.
Yeah.
Okay, so the event I wasn't at. I see. That makes sense then. That's why I don't remember. It all makes sense. Yeah, I'm
It
hoping
all
the
makes
next
sense now.
one's in person. Um, yeah, the winter one. But I did hear from a staff member who said they do not know the answer, and if even if they
Yeah,
did,
that
they
was what
would
I was
not.
hearing.
And even if they did, they would not say anything, which is fair. But
Hmm.
they didn't. But they said that if they don't announce like a location, it is not going to be in person, and they did not. So I'm not holding out any hope, but it would be nice. It would be a very pleasant surprise if it was not online. But I don't know just how much getting out of that contract fucked them from Florida. I have to assume it was pretty bad because buying hotels for like that is not, or the event space is not
Yeah, because I'm
cheap.
pretty sure they had the next like two after 2020 also contractually obligated to that hotel.
Yeah,
Which yeah, that sucks because it was a really nice hotel and a nice venue and is
it
a really good
was.
location. Just
Just take the hotel and push it somewhere else,
yeah,
preferably
trust
not
me. As
Florida.
a Florida resident, I was extremely disappointed because
Yeah,
you know how it is.
yeah. What can you do? Safety is important, so you got to do what you
To be
got to
honest,
do.
I'd rather them still have it there than not have it. Like just I'd rather them have it there in person rather than not have it in person. But I get it.
Yeah, yeah. I guess that makes sense, but yeah.
It's like it's also just because it's Orlando, right? Like of all
Hmm.
the places in Florida, that's like
Yeah.
probably the most blue place in all of Florida. If that was what people were concerned about,
Yeah, I don't know. I no, I think it was specifically the state bans
not being able
mask
to, yeah, not
mandates,
being able to
and they wanted
mandate.
to keep people safe. So I mean, that makes sense. I think.
To be honest, I know they still technically had the masks mandated at this most recent GDQ, but like, let's be real, nobody fucking wore them outside of the event areas.
Oh no, of course not. I
Like,
mean, yeah, but
I think we're past the time. I think we're at the point where you can just write it up as a recommendation rather than a mandate at this point.
I guess, but
Because like, yeah, if you write it as a mandate, you can only mandate it in the event spaces, and you know everybody's still taking them off outside of the event spaces anyway. So it's not like it really actually does all that much
yeah, it doesn't do
because
much. But
all of your attendees are still going out to like restaurants and stuff
yeah,
and
but
are still in the rooms with each other and all that.
one of the staff members did get COVID, and I know that because that's why they started mandating the masks on stage again. So when I did my run, I had to
Mm-hmm.
wear mine, and I would have taken the tests and not wore it otherwise. Especially
No,
after
I
how good my run was, I like popped off, and it's not as cool when you covering half your face.
yeah, I
But
thankfully I did commentary for the Pizza Tower run, which was right before that happened, so I tested negative and got to not have to have my mask on, which was refreshing because talking into that thing for a long period of time is like, whew, we.
yeah, it's they're not the most enjoyable things to wear. Like I'll obviously do it for safety reasons. I'm all for
Yeah.
it, but yeah, I mean, I would be lying if I said they weren't annoying. Especially the ones they give you are like the two strap ones. I would like rip one of the straps off just because it like crushes my face too much.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it all depends.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I know they weren't able to mandate vaccines in Florida either,
Oh yeah, that's it. Ugh.
which is probably the bigger thing.
Yeah, that's bigger.
Which I mean, I trust that the vast majority of people attending a GDQ would be, well, probably do that. I wouldn't say hygienic though, because boy,
It's
howdy, some
GDQ.
people at fucking GDQ. Holy shit, wash your hands.
Please,
I
frequently.
remember in one of the GDQs, I watched somebody go into the bathroom and then like touch a bunch of stuff and then not wash their hands and walk out. I'm like, bro, you are wearing a
Ew.
mask right now for COVID and you just went into a bathroom and didn't wash. Like, what?
Yeah, whenever I would like return some stuff to the World 9 people, I'd use their like little hand sanitizer on the side. Like I don't
I'm glad
trust
they
people
included
anymore.
those.
Yeah, thank
I hope
God.
those stay forever because
True.
stuff like that, and cleaning the equipment will probably do a lot in the long run.
Yeah.
Just in general, not just for COVID, but people get sick of GDQ all the time. So
Yeah. Yeah, there's the GDQ flu.
the GD flu.
GD flu happens every time, almost every time. The past two times I actually didn't get sick, which
Yeah, I
is
didn't
the
get
two
sick.
like COVID scare times. So, you know what? I'll take it. It works.
Yeah, I used to get sick of GDQs all the time, but I didn't get sick the most recent times. I like to attribute that to
Hmm.
the equipment cleaning and stuff like that, and having hand sanitizer and people washing their hands more and people wearing deodorant. Not having a Smash Bros room probably does a great wonder.
Ooh. Well, there was a tournament room. That's like partially a Smash room.
Do you remember the Orlando venue where they had the small little aside room and somebody put that warning caution sign above the Smash room that said warning funk?
I did not see it, but I know
And
where the room
you
was. Yeah.
walk in there and you
I did not go in that room.
it just noticeably smells worse. You're like, "Jeez, guys.
Yeah. If you're gonna go to GDQ, wash your hands, take some showers, please.
Wear fucking deodorant."
And that's also important. Yes.
It's like, good grief, people.
At the very
I know.
least, deodorant. Like,
I just about lost it when I saw that person not wash their hands because like they're wearing a mask and shit too. It's like they clearly care, but it's like, what? Do you not get what the point of that thing is? Do you not
yeah.
understand the point of the mask?
Oh no. Oh no. I
As the
wish I didn't get.
mask is.
No. No. I I can't ban you for cheating on my stream live. That's not okay. But yeah, again, GDQ is fun. Just be a human that is not gross, and everyone will have a great time. Would recommend. So yeah, just
Pretty
hoping
much.
at least summer will obviously consistently be in person. So I'm excited for that. And if winter doesn't exist, I mean, what can you do? But hopefully, here's to hoping. Have you been to other events?
Like pace? No.
Uh, Just anything, I
I
guess.
only really have time to go out to the GDQs. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to Pace just because there's a big Mario 1 tournament. I probably go anyway because I enjoyed last time. But both times I submitted to Pace and got in something, so I guess that helps.
Mhm.
But damn, I need some money. Money is hard to come by. And I keep throwing it all on speedrunning events. At least I keep having the excuses. I got in both of them. So, few, but also, money.
Now the
Hard.
cool thing is when this is your full-time job is that those flights and hotel stays at GDQ, business expense.
Mmm. Interesting.
Hell, I had a couple of friends who write off all their meals as business expenses too, and I'm like, okay, I'm not sure about that. I'm not gonna go that far. I don't think,
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Start
because I
writing
don't.
off my alcohol as a business expense from the trips. Lamau.
I just don't eat that much, so.
Oh yeah, I have like one meal a day. I'll be honest. That's all you need. But yeah, I've had so many people on here that like have become content creators through speedrunning and then just do all that. It's
Hmm.
interesting. I keep wanting to try it. I probably will take it seriously after pace and all that, but I mean, what's the average day in the full-time life like? Oh.
Um, wake up, eat,
Mm.
content, probably work on editing, maybe some free time after that, sleep,
Mm.
hit him with a.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, it's pretty linear days for me, honestly.
Yeah.
Although
Is
the
there a
nice
lot
thing
of
about
free
being a
time?
YouTuber is getting to choose
Own
my own
hours.
hours and stuff, and because I tend to when I edit videos, I tend to work in like blocks. Like
Mm.
I don't like, oh, let's do 2 hours of editing today. Nah, I start editing that shit, and I ain't going until I'm either too tired to keep going or I finish.
Yeah,
It's that
that makes sense.
ADHD mindset, you know. Gotta
The
takes a while to
ADHD
get like.
grind
I
set.
have to do a ritual every morning before I stream because I have to sit there and be like, okay, I have to hype myself up into it, you know.
I see.
But yeah, it's I do get a sizable amount of free time, which is nice.
Okay. Yeah, I
But
wasn't
a
sure
lot
like
of
how time consuming the whole process is when you
I do
actually get
edit
down
pretty
to it.
quickly.
Okay.
Also, my editing style helps. I do mostly minimalist editing, so I don't like spend a lot of time doing like crazy After Effects transitions or
Yeah.
whatever. I just I am a believer in the good old wipe, honestly. I have that Star Wars editing style where I use wipes like a motherfucker.
Nice.
Actually, nowadays I mostly just like I use fade ins and I'll just fade the blur behind when I put something on screen. But I actually do just hard cuts mostly, honestly.
Yeah, if it works. So yeah, most of your content isn't like scripted. It's just like stream highlights, but you're like do the stream in a
Yeah,
content
although I
focused
do want to
manner.
do more scripted content.
Yeah.
I have
Have
a
you
couple
done
of
it
videos.
at
Yeah,
all?
I've done scripted content.
Okay.
One of my most popular videos that kind of like sort of kickstarted YouTube for me was the video essay I made about what would happen if I had Dream Luck in an Undertale speedrun.
Oh, we're back to here.
But this was right when it was popular, so of course.
Oh, so
Well,
yeah.
I thought it was going to do really well, and it did pretty decent. It got like 5,000 views. And then,
I ain't
like
bet.
5 months later, when Deltarune came out, my video started getting views a lot because I was uploading Deltarune speedruns. I guess that video, because I had it as my default on my channel page,
Mm.
got like the second wind in the algorithm and just took off.
So just like, ooh,
Like I
flat.
blinked and it was at like 300,000. I'm like, what the heck?
What the fuck?
It's like this video was at like 4,000 views for most of its life. It's suddenly now, 6 months afterwards, is when it got really popular.
Algorithm jump scare. The classic. That's
It
interesting.
was like when I uploaded that Undertale Genocide randomizer video, and I went to bed, and then I looked at it, and I was like, oh, this video.
Oh.
Oh. It's like,
Uh
wow, this is doing really well, and now it has 1.5 million views.
Jesus. All right.
Yeah, it became my first million view video. I was like, damn, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. I mean, YouTube is interesting. That's for sure.
Yeah, I have 2 million view videos now. It's wild.
Yeah. There you go. I mean, YouTube is the way. You cannot grow on Twitch at all. It's just not possible.
Yeah, no, you don't get that kind of explosive growth on Twitch like that.
Nope.
Although I do, I think the biggest jump scare moment I've ever had was I looked at my YouTube Studio notifications on my phone and I got a comment from Camellia, like the artist,
Mm.
on one of my Earthbound videos, and I was like, "What the heck?"
Hmm.
It's like Camellia watches my videos. These videos?
Uh-oh.
It's like this video only has 6,000 views.
Well,
And then I looked and they're following me on Twitter. I'm like, oh, I guess they like my videos.
there you go. Yeah. I don't know if I have any famous people watching my stuff other than speedrunners that I just happen to know. Maybe someday I'll be like,
I
oh,
watch your videos.
oh, cool. Which ones? That's what I thought. Looking up my channel right live.
Well, I looked up GT Ace on YouTube, and the first thing that came up was Little Baby and 42 Doug Grace.
Yeah, that's because it autocorrects to Grace first. You have to like,
Ah, there we
yeah.
go. Search instead for GT Ace. Ah, here you are. Yeah, I loved your every world record speedrun Super Mario Brothers any percent.
That's the video that Kotaku wrote the article on. That's the one.
Ah.
That's why it has the view count it does, is because of that. So uh, I'm appreciative of that, but then I stopped because all the
Oh,
other
this is
videos didn't do
cool. It
well.
has like every single. Yeah, I did watch this video. No, I
Okay.
didn't realize this was you. I've watched this video before.
Okay, so
So I actually have. Yeah, I have the video liked. That's how I know
perfect.
I've watched it.
All right, you're off the hook then. But
Look at all
yeah,
these comments from Cosmic and Darbian.
yeah, I happen to know them, so.
Hold on, let me just hit you with the. This is this video changed my life.
Okay.
Oop, I hit the back button. Okay, there you go. I'll hit you with the algorithm boost.
Great. Yeah, I tried doing that format again because I was like, oh, people like this. I'll do the same thing again. And then it fell off immediately. And I was like, okay, people don't actually like this format. It was just the one thing.
Kotaku.
It was just Kotaku, apparently. Oh, well. I don't know. I like seeing content visualized or like speedruns visualized in different ways. So that's why I made it that way. And then all the reactions at the end are like just awesome to
I'm
rewatch.
surprised the video footage from 1999 is this good.
It's emulator, and it might be like a replay, like an
Oh, is
input
it a
play. It
recreation?
might be
Okay.
a well, not much of a recreation, more like maybe it had an input file or something. Those are just on the like world record progression sheet. I don't know how real they are. They were just
Oh,
like found and like
it's pretty funny to see how long just the one video plays by itself.
yeah.
Because
I
it's
mean,
crazy. They went from, they went straight from like 9 minutes down to 6 minutes down to 5 minutes, and then it would sit at that 5 minute mark for like
yeah.
forever, basically.
And there's probably some other runs in like the higher 5 minute marks that just don't have video footage as well. Actually, I know there isn't because on the world record progression there are some that are documented that don't have videos. So it went to like 610 to like 520s or something, and then the 510s and the 50s and then the 4s, and we're still there and forever there because you can't get a better second than the one that's currently there. That's how Mario 1 works. Lamau.
Yep. It is pretty funny looking at all of these different captures too and seeing who actually
Yeah.
has good color correction.
That's something I never thought about. Although my RGB modded Famicom does have like a palette switcher.
Big fan of like half of the videos having the purple sky.
The
It's
purple
like, no,
sky.
that is not what that's supposed to look like. It's supposed to be blue.
It's not what it's supposed to look like, but I think that's what it just looks like on the television. Like
Yes,
I
you're
think that's
supposed to
normal.
color correct it.
So like that is, I think that's proper. Well, not if it's too purple, but yeah, like it's supposed to be that
I believe
color.
the Human Theory task has the correct colors.
Yeah, maybe. Well,
The
that's like FCUX palette, which is not what the console would display normally,
but what it
but
would look
it's
like
what
on
is
like an
like
old
what it's
TV.
supposed to be. Like
Yeah,
it's weird. Like
yeah, it's strange. Old
yeah.
old console colors are funny. Like I've been messing with a GBA emulator recently, and I'm like, this is
Mm,
not what this is supposed to look like. Let me hit that color mod. There we go.
yeah, yeah. My palette switcher on my console actually can do the FCUX palette, so it can look like that on the TV. But then it just looks unnatural to me. Then it just looks like an emulator. And
It's
it's like
strange because I think
weird.
that's what all the re-releases look like. I know that's what Deluxe looks like, and I think that's what
Ye-
all the Virtual Console versions look like too.
I don't think the VCs look like. I think the VCs look more like the NES are
Or
supposed
maybe
to,
the
because
3DS
general
version. I can't
emulation,
remember.
like Nestopia emulator does like the console palette. It will not look like what FCUX does. So that's
Hmm.
what I'm used to. And I think that's what the console mimics. So I think Nestopia is what the colors will look like on your TV, but it's maybe not what they're supposed to be. Like
It's
FCUX
like
is like,
strange
yeah,
because
it's
there's
it's weird.
so many re-releases like don't quite grasp what it was supposed to look like and just go with the raw color value, and then people will be gaslit into thinking that's what it was supposed to look like. No, that's not what that is supposed to look like.
Yeah, I mean, it's a rabbit hole that could be dove down forever probably, but
But then again, we still have people re-releasing their old games, modern re-releases with those garbage filters. You
oh,
know the ones,
like the
the
one that
mixel
makes
filters.
pixels curved or whatever, and it
Yeah,
looks
it's the
like
mixel
ass.
filters.
It's
Oh
so
my god.
it makes me want to
People
vomit.
still bring those in their re-releases. Stop.
No one likes it. No one. I promise no one likes it. It's just not good. It's just what's wrong with pixels? Pixels are fine. Enjoy the pixels.
The colors, would obviously get degraded by video signal, and also they looked different on CRTs and stuff like that. They look a little darker on CRTs if I remember correctly.
Yeah, some
Or like the
consoles are
GBA
darker.
screen didn't have a backlight, so they had to
Uh
wash the fuck out of all the colors.
yeah. Yeah, Game Boy and Game Boy Advance didn't originally have backlights. It wasn't until like Game Boy Light and SP for Advance. That's crazy to think about how long they went without backlights.
Yeah.
What were they thinking? Just you could not play it without it being daylight out or something.
Yeah.
Like kids hiding their DSs under their beds or whatever. Again, kids nowadays won't understand, as we're saying, but like hiding the DS under the covers. You couldn't do that
Had
with
the
Game
DS
Boys
under
or
the
Game
cover.
Boy Advances.
Yeah, you
Nope.
couldn't do that.
Oh,
1 second.
look at the little Toriel plush
This
on the
whole thing,
piano.
just no backlights.
Oh, there it is. Yep. Ooh, you got the e-reader even? Damn.
Yeah, I have an
Look
e-reader.
at that.
There's no backlights on these things.
Nope.
No, what I really miss, I miss this. Bring back the transparent shells. These were so
Ah,
cool.
yeah. That's
Unfortunately, I
good.
don't have the back case anymore. So
Yeah, I love transparent cases. I was thinking about getting my SNES a transparent case because they have like a purple one and it would match the color scheme really well.
I
But
really need to open this out and clean it. It's so dusty, and it's got whatever this is here. I
mm.
don't know what that is.
How
I
does
think it
shit
might be
get in
food.
there? Ugh.
I don't know. It was my brother's.
Oh well, I blame him. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
They got
I've never
the
seen an.
e-reader with like the no cards they ever released for it.
Yep, I've never seen the e-reader like live. I guess.
Yeah, I own a bunch of stuff.
Fair enough. It's interesting.
I gotta go put this back before I accidentally break it.
Fair enough.
Oh,
They
these
had a.
speakers are terrible. Also,
Oh yeah, I
if
bet.
anything, I'd open it up just to replace those because those things don't work anymore.
Yeah.
You boot it up, it's like
Yeah. I've only had a DS, which back then it had the Game Boy Advance support on the bottom. They took that away for like DSi and any future
I don't know
release
why
stuff.
they did that.
I don't know. They're
It's funny
stupid.
because the chip to play GBA games is still on like the DSi and even the 3DS.
Wow. All right. Then there is no
Like those
excuse.
ambassador games that they re-released for the 3DS
Uh,
ambassador program?
yeah.
Because I have those on mine, but they 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 run natively because the GBA processor is still in the 3DS. They could literally just run the games natively.
Well, how about that?
They didn't have to make an emulator for it. I don't know why they never officially released those. They worked perfectly.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Well, leave it to Nintendo to make weird decisions that make no sense, I guess.
I mean, they're only now starting to re-release GameCube games.
Yeah, but they're all like remastered, which I mean still good, but
I mean, they've just re-released the 2 Pikmin games, I think. I
I
guess
I guess I
3
don't know how remastered those are.
Mario 3D All Stars.
Well, yeah. Uh,
Well, they did have to. They're remastered in the sense that I think they like they had to remove certain product placement.
was there product placement? Hmm.
One of the I know there's a Duracell battery in Pikmin 2.
Oh, we're talking about Pikmin. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they had to remove that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I know there was product placement in Pikmin 1 at least. A lot of real world items. Just giant Duracell battery. Lamau. Yeah, that makes me want to buy your batteries. Picking up a giant one with my Pikmin here. Yeah. Another franchise I've never played. So many. I haven't played like most games, I'll just be honest. I need to fix that, but there's just too many and then it gets overwhelming and then I don't ever. And then I just speedrun Mario instead and do that with my entire life. Please help. That's how it goes.
Oh, I think I'll pick up this cute Mario game.
Hmm.
And then just you get the like the up meme with like 80 years fly by.
Yeah. The problem is Mario 1's probably the first game I ever played because we had an NES. So,
Mario was not the first 2D platformer I ever played. That would be Sonic. I was a Sonic kid.
hmm. I had a plug and play Genesis that I got for like my 6th birthday or something. It had Sonic 2 on it. So, I grew up a little bit.
We
Uh,
we never had a Genesis when I was a kid because my brother got me into video games, but he had a Dreamcast. It was very funny. He actually wanted a Genesis, but my grandparents got him a Dreamcast.
Interesting.
So that was my kind of introduction console was like that era.
So like
But we
Sonic
had a
Adventure.
whenever we went to my mom used to work at the YMCA and she would
Mm.
drop us off in the kid area and they had a Genesis there with
Oh.
Sonic 2 and Sonic and Knuckles. Never Sonic 3.
Hmm. Interesting.
I want to get to play that
Didn't
game
have
until
that lock-on
way older.
technology, I
Nope,
guess.
no lock on tech. Well, you could play Knuckles and Sonic 2,
Oh yeah, you could. That's right.
which
That cartridge was the lock-on. They just didn't have the Sonic 3 to lock on to it. That's right.
yeah, we were so bad that we couldn't even beat like the second level.
Chemical plant?
Well, yeah, Chemical Plant and then Flying Battery and Sonic and Knuckles.
That's right.
Uh, I mean, to child me's defense, it's a hard second level.
Yeah, I mean, playing Battery's case, it's supposed to be what, the 8th level? So
Yeah,
I guess they have that.
I played those games when I was like real little though. The first couple of platformers I remember like actually owning and playing. I grew up on the Mario Advance ports,
I see.
so that was how I played Mario World and Yoshi's Island, which I loved both of.
Yeah, I had
Oh,
a
I think
Advance 1, which
Mario
is
World.
Mario 2.
I also had that. Yeah, I had the first three. I didn't have four. Nobody had four.
Mario 3, which is funny because that's the e-reader Mario game. And
Yep,
it's all
I
the
never actually
e-reader
got to
levels.
play. No, the only e-reader game we ever had on, we had like one e-reader card. It was the Donkey Kong Jr. thing.
Oh, the NES cards?
Yeah, we
Interesting.
had those. I'm not sure if
Hmm.
they might still be in like one of my drawers somewhere, but yeah, I had the Donkey Kong Jr. I remember playing that, trying to beat it. That game sucks.
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be an arcade game, and generally the NES arcade ports were okay, but they definitely weren't like made for it in mind.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
I
sometimes.
don't know. You can't tell me that the Ghosts and Goblins port is good.
Well, I know some people that like it, but it does run very sluggish and yeah.
Have you played that game?
I've seen it. I've never really played it though.
It is. Yeah, that's
It
all I'll
is,
say
yeah.
about it. It's one of the games of all time for sure.
I know it's hard. I know you like get hit once your armor falls off in
It
in
is
your underpants,
bullshit
and then
hard.
becomes skulls the next hit or something. And then I know you have to beat the game, and then the game's like, haha, you have to do it again.
You have to beat
Fuck
it
you.
again.
Fuck you, do it again. Run it back. Yeah. But, I don't know, maybe someday. I'll play like hard NES games someday. And maybe SNES or whatever. There's so many games again. My backlog is way too large. There's too many games. Like at this rate, I'll never play Undertale now. Unless I do it first.
Play Undertale.
Mm, so I hear. Someday. I'll have to stream it too. And then everyone can spoil it for me. But luckily I don't care too much. Although I would prefer it not to be, I guess. But I already know enough about it. But you have to play it like 3 times to get the full experience. Isn't that right? Like at least 3 times.
Sorta. I mean, it's a short game though, so it's kind of the point.
Oh, it is
It's not
short.
like a. Yeah, it's a very short game.
How long's like a first playthrough on average?
It's 6 to 8 hours maybe.
Hmm.
It's a pretty small game, yeah.
And that's for like one full thing.
Well, all of your subsequent playthroughs are going to be a lot shorter.
Oh yeah. So
Like the
it'd be
first
like
one is going to be the one that's long because you're going to be reading everything and
it'd be like
like
12 hours to do all 3 endings.
yeah, if you do like everything, like all the main big stuff, then yeah, it'll be like 10 hours, 12
Yeah,
hours.
that's like 2 streams. It's not too bad, I
No, yeah,
guess.
it's very it's replayable in the sense that it's not a very long game, so which it needs to be to get all those ending variations because boy, howdy are there a lot of those.
Mm.
If you
There's
feel like doing that, it's not one of those things somebody should ever do and do all of, even though I've done all of them.
no. Well,
Like a normal person, like it's kind of like a curiosity thing. Like if I kill this character, but don't kill this character, and this character, what ending will I get?
how many
Will I get the
endings
one
are
where
there
every?
then?
Uh, so there's a category of the game called True 100%, where you
Uh-oh.
get every single possible ending variation,
Mm-hmm.
and this includes the little intro text. Because like when you get an ending, Sans will call you and it'll give you like a little flavor text depending on some certain stuff you did. So you have all the main endings and then all those little branches that like depend on like did you ever put on any armor? Did you eat any healing items? Did you bring this particular item to the end of the game? Did you save? Which are the real annoying ones.
Ah.
Um, so with all of those combined with the main endings, it's 93.
Holy fuck. Okay.
So the cool thing is like in that speedrun, you can for all the ones except the one where you can't save, you just save before the final boss and then like do all the requisites in order. Like you'll save before the final boss, get the ending where you get like no heal,
Mm-hmm.
no armor, whatever. Then you'll reload, put on a piece of armor, beat the boss, reload, uh, put on an armor and eat an item, and then go fight the boss. Reload again, do all the things. It's like yeah, you can
Interesting.
knock them all out.
How
So
long's
in
that
reality,
speed run?
like 13 I'd consider like main endings that are differentiated.
I thought there were only 3.
Well,
Look how
those are like the
silly
big
I
like
was.
those are like the big ones.
Yeah.
These are all variations of one ending, but they're
Okay.
just pretty different. Like in one ending, everybody might be happy with you, and you're leaving, but you still have all your friends or whatever. In the other ending, you might have just murdered everybody,
Mm-hmm.
but you weren't evil enough to have actually gotten like the super evil ending.
Interesting. Okay.
Or my favorite, where it becomes a capitalist utopia.
So America.
Yeah,
Okay. Fair enough. How long is that speed run, the true hundo?
world record is 27 hours by yours truly.
Jesus Christ. Good lord. And I
I'm debating if I want to do glitchless at some point in my career, which would be about 60 hours.
why do you hate yourself?
Listen, it'd be a subathon, okay? I'd be making
Oh,
money.
there you go. Okay, that's smart then. I can't argue with that.
I'd be making that dollar.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Um are you the only person that has a run on those leaderboards? Does anyone else suffer?
There's actually quite a few.
Oh, really? That's like one
But
sitting, right?
no, you can take a break.
Oh, okay. Well, that's better then.
Where is True Hundo? Here we go. Right now, there's 3 runs on the board. That are well, yeah. We just recently had to do something because of a limitation of SRC. There used to be more, but they were marked as not legit because they didn't actually properly do the category.
Oh, I
Um,
see.
because they would miss something.
Hmm. They'd get
And so
92.
before there used to be a tag to show them as legit or not legit, but we just decided to get rid of them because they weren't runs of true 100%. They missed something.
Oh well. What can you do?
Yeah, it happens to everybody. I haven't run into that. Both of the runs I've done of that category were valid.
Oh, you've done multiple. Oh God.
And actually, I was incorrect. It's actually 26 hours and 24 minutes. on the dot.
Ugh, it's so long. I know people. I can barely do like hour-long speedruns, let alone 26 hours.
See, break rules. Maximum 3 breaks within a 12-hour pool after the 28-hour mark, and every 14 hours after that, the runner gets 3 additional breaks in 12 extra hours.
Hmm. Interesting.
So you have for my pace, because I wouldn't be going above 28 hours. I have a 12-hour break, but I can take 3 breaks with 12 hours. So I can take like a one 12-hour break, or maybe like one 11-hour break and 2 30-minute breaks if I wanted to.
I see.
In my case, I just took the one 12-hour break.
Okay.
It used to at first it used to only be one 8-hour sleep break and no other breaks, but I don't want people need to eat.
Yeah.
And
Eating
also
is
only
important.
8 hours for sleeping is fucking ridiculous. I like before I did my second run of that category, I said, can we please extend this to 12 hours? Like, man, I need to sleep. I need to sleep 8 hours.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So I think a lot of people are coming around on long speedrun categories like that, because for the longest time, it was like, it's not in the spirit of the category to take breaks.
It's over a day long. What the fuck
It's
do
like,
you
bro,
mean?
or do we want to enjoy? We want to enjoy this.
Yeah. I.
And some people wouldn't physically be able to play the game for that long. Like, and people will be like, well, you just have to get over it. That's part of the category. No! Why? Why are we gatekeeping that?
I don't know. Well, at least you don't. So there you go.
It's
Yeah.
big silly.
Yeah. Like I understand why people see that way, but it's obviously not the way to do things. It's just don't ruin people's physical and mental health just to speed run a long category, please. Thank you. Although some people, I know people that do like 40-hour speed runs with no breaks, and I don't know how or why you would do that to yourself, but that's just me. Maybe it's maybe it's fine. I don't know why it would be fine, but maybe it's fine. All right. So any other YouTube stuff to talk about?
Not really. It kind of,
Just made a couple of bangers and
I made a
just
couple bangers. I do edit all my videos and make all my thumbnails myself. So
well, that's good. One man
keep,
show.
keeps me occupied. And also that way I don't have to pay anybody.
Yes, very true. Don't have to spend the money. Love that. Uh, Especially when you don't have money to spend. That would be more my problem. But, you know, it's fine. Let's see. What else can I think of? Uh, any speedruns you like to watch that you don't play?
I don't really watch that many speedruns anymore, honestly. I
Mm,
used to watch speedruns a ton,
yeah.
but I didn't really. I don't watch much Twitch anymore, to be honest. Sometimes I'll hop on like my friend's stream and lurk or whatever, but that's the most I do. I mostly watch YouTube stuff.
Yeah. I've definitely fallen
Uh,
more on YouTube stuff, but
at GDQ, I watched some of the runs that I was interested in, but mostly just the showcases. Honestly, the only run I went out of my way to go see was the Link Between Worlds run, because that's nostalgic for me.
yeah. First game you ever ran,
It was
right?
my first game I ever ran. It was cool seeing that not that much had changed. Went up to Ben Stevens, and I don't think he knew who I was when he was practicing, and he was doing the trial skip at the very end of the game. And I said, I was like, oh, good, this skip is still fucking dog shit. And he looked at me, he's like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think he knew who I was or that I had run the game.
That's
But I was
funny.
like, yeah, good to see that trial skip still fucking sucks.
Well, you did see Pizza Tower. You kind of had to be there, I guess.
I had never ran that game and only watched like half of a run before I did that commentary.
Hmm.
I just kind of wung it, honestly.
Yeah.
They were all like really happy that I was on the couch because they were so worried about nobody had been at a GDQ before.
Hmm. I see.
That's why I mostly took over commentary, and it was big funny memes.
Big funny meme. It's all you need. I mean,
And also gassing up the movement, because Pizza Tower's movement is the actual like sex.
okay. Fair enough. Yeah, it's the meme runs that do well at GDQ anyway. Like
Mm-hmm.
Ratatouille. That was just the entire event forever, and no one will ever forget it now.
uh ah I set a rule that if somebody came in my chat doing that yes chef
Yes,
shit, I
chef.
would ban them instantly.
Fair enough.
That if anybody makes those jokes at the next GDQ, I am booting them.
Never going again.
It's like we finally got rid of Orb.
Oh
Let's
no,
keep
we
it that way.
did. No, we didn't.
Oh, are people still doing that?
Uh, there were 2 Mario World runs at the end of the event. What do you think?
Ah.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Okay,
no.
but at least it's back to Mario World and not being every other's. You know how it is.
I know how it is. I've heard it plenty. It I don't
Orb.
think it'll go. I don't think it's
Yeah,
going
what kind
away.
of idiot would like chant Orb from the crowd during the Celeste run? What kind of dumbass would do something like that?
Mm,
It was
no
me.
idea.
I'm guilty. I'm the guilty party here. It was my idea.
There you go.
I'm somewhat responsible for that meme even like b- leaking out of SMW.
Mm. So you're just pissed of what you've done.
It's
I
my
see.
sins.
You gotta pay for your sins in the only way possible. To suffer forever. It'll never leave GDQ now. Sad. What about the bruh at Odyssey though? That was fun.
That was fucking Ganon's fault. We
Yeah.
talked about that before they went on.
Well,
Like
it's
we
spite.
joked about it. Like, what if we said for them to say? Like, I was involved in that conversation about saying "bruh," and then they actually did it. I was like, oh no, what have you released?
Yeah. I think Spike came up with it. In the practice room. I was there for its creation, the idea
It's
creation.
something along
He
those
was just like,
lines, and then
"What if we just say bruh at
bruh.
every moon?" And we're all just like, "No, but that's funny." But then he's up on stage. He's like, "I want
I
to do
was
the
so
thing,"
sad
and I
that
was like, "Oh
Dangers didn't
no."
do the long jump out of crates. Like, what the?
Well, I mean,
Like maybe like 3 people even would have laughed at that, but I would have been laughing at it.
yeah. Well, uh, I guess Dangerous didn't want to bring up the memes again. You gotta respect it. I mean, they were already broing to death. You can only have so many memes before it gets overbearing, I
Was it
suppose.
you who made that? Who was it? Was it you who made the long jump out of crates meme where they were reading it off of an airplane?
No, I
Who
don't know
made
what that
that?
is. I
I
don't know
don't
what that
remember
is.
who it was, but somebody. It was like this copy pasta in the SMO community for a while, and somebody like
Hmm.
made it like it was like your aircraft captain speaking to you. This is your captain speaking, and did I remind you that in your 1021 PB you did not do the long jump out of crates?
I just now imagine the Walter in the car. No, stop! Don't long jump off the
No,
crate.
Hank, don't say orb, Hank.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not too into the Odyssey community. I know plenty of people that run the game, but yeah, I wasn't aware of the meme until Ganon did her run last year. I think the what is it?
And then I
Darker Side?
donated for the joke. Yeah.
Yeah, the Darker Side. That's what it was.
I told them I was gonna donate with that joke, and they were still surprised I did it. We have $100 from Shayy, who says make sure to do the long jump out of crates. What does that mean?
Why would they
And I
think
could
you
just see
wouldn't
them
do that?
laughing behind the mask. Like I was like, yep.
Like that's so
Uh,
obviously something you would do. You wouldn't lie about that.
of course, of course.
I believed it immediately.
I did donate during TGH's run, this TG and Amber's run, this most recent time, and then they didn't read it out. It was
Oh
so
yeah,
funny, and they didn't read it.
unbelievable. Yeah, they were not on site.
No, they were a remote run. They did a
Yeah,
really good job though.
yeah. I think they're gonna stop doing remote runs though, just because of how far behind the schedule went this year, and not to mention the year before someone kind of cheated.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened. Like we were watching that run and having a good time. I remember I was sitting in the showroom because that was one of the runs we watched.
Mm.
It was right after we got back from Mall of America. And we were sitting there watching the run. I was like, oh, this is cool. And then he was like, yeah, I got a world record. I was like, oh. And then he had the big long speech or whatever about many sleepless nights. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I was like, are we supposed to applaud?
Come on, transition, end it, move on.
And it's like, oh, yeah, he cheated. It's like, oh, well, that's
Oh,
great.
love that.
It didn't even look cheated. That's the funny thing is maybe Blade Wolf speedruns are easier than I thought.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just some splicing. So looks easy, I guess, when it's all the best segments combined.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is a wild story. I didn't see
probably.
that run, but then that's all I heard about it after the event ended. Like, oh yeah, that was all cheated, by the way. Like, oh cool, that was on GDQ. So much for remote runs.
Nah, they weren't gonna get remote runs because of that, but it's definitely like, I mean, that guy got ostracized from the community afterwards. So
Yeah, that's fair.
I feel
But
like the speedrun community is decently good at policing itself when it comes to cheaters.
yeah, I'd like to
The
think so.
speedrunning community,
I'd like to
not
think so.
not the Minecraft community. They're different.
Well, I mean, the Minecraft speedrunners did take action on all the stuff, but I mean, they
Yeah,
don't police
on the
themselves.
myriad of cheaters who keep popping up in that scene. I wonder why.
Yeah, there are a lot of them. I have
It's
noticed.
like even like I heard one recently. People got banned for cheating or whatever. Like another world record was cheated. It's just like, when are people going to realize that this is going to keep happening because Minecraft isn't a good speedrun? It's like people are going
Well,
to realize this eventually, right?
people love
It is
it.
just a lottery. Like you are just spinning a lotto ticket. It's
Yeah, I mean, it's not something I would enjoy, but
somebody could roll a seed that's unbeatable by the best player in the world. Like it's not fun. I don't know. I don't get it. And with all the attention that game gets, you don't think people would cheat to get attention? You're out of your mind. It's so
well,
easy to cheat that game too.
people cheat at like the set seed ones too. There were world
Yeah,
records that were cheated in that. Even that's all like determined. Well, not all, but mostly. I
especially when
guess
people
it's
start putting like people realize they can upload a Minecraft world record speedrun and just cheat it, but then get a ton of views and money off of that, and then
never
okay,
again.
they got
Yeah,
what they wanted. They got their attention.
yeah. What are they doing now? You like have to be signed into a server that can check to see if you have
Something
mods
like
installed or
that. I
something.
don't know.
It's not a scene I follow very closely. Although I did meet a bunch of Minecraft speedrunners at Pace last year because they had a whole like 3-day tournament thing.
hmm I'm sure the speedrunners are great people, and the
Yeah,
game is fun. It's just at that high level, it's like,
why would you? Well, I mean now also they run like 20 instances of the game trying
yeah,
to
they
look
open
for
like 30
seeds.
instances of the game to look for seeds. Like this, come on, guys.
Hey, if it works,
I don't know how that's fun for people.
yeah. I don't see the fun in it, but hey, if some people find it fun, who am I to judge? I guess.
I want a speed run to be good because I made it good, not because I happened to get the 1 in a million seed or whatever that I'll never be able to beat again.
Yeah,
Well, I say this ironically as somebody who speed runs Undertale Genocide, which has a lot of luck in it, but at the same time, you do still have to be really good.
yeah. How much of it is determined by luck?
Quite a bit, but there's also quite a bit determined, actually more so determined by skill at the
Well, that's
end.
good.
Because there's enemies in the core area that, in order to kill them in one hit, you have to hit 4 frame per foot inputs, and
Oh,
that's it's a big old skill check. There's guaranteed to be at
skill
least four,
issue.
but by any run there'll be probably about 10 of those. So
Jeez. Is it that like thing that pops up where the thing goes to the center? It's like
yes,
this. Okay, so you like have to
but
hit
it's a
it on the
multi-hit
frames.
weapon, so you have to hit all four.
Yeah, so it's okay. I see. Yeah,
Bup, 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 bup.
I guess I've seen a little bit of that, but I didn't realize all of those inputs were frame perfect. I guess it makes sense with the bar going over, but
Yep.
because I guess critical is dead
And
center. But
boy howdy, maintaining composure at that part in the run when you've gotten good RNG in the last bit of the, like when you're ahead,
oh
going
no,
into that and trying to maintain. Whew, wowee.
yeah, I can imagine that's a
And then you still have to
time.
fight Sans.
Yeah, is
But
that
that's
fight as
easy.
hard as people? Oh, okay. So no, that answers my question.
For a speedrunner, it shouldn't be too hard, yeah. Because it's like, it's hard, it's super hard casually, but you practice it a million times and you'll be like, okay, we're good.
Yeah, I mean
I
that's
remember
fair.
freaking out my chat when I was at 15 HP and I went into Sans. I was like, why do I need to heal, guys? This is 15 HP is 14 more than I need to win.
True. How much damage does he give you from a hit?
He deals 1 damage a frame.
Oh, okay.
So he has this thing where he ignores iframes.
Hmm.
So he can like burn your health away really, really quickly if you're
Fun.
but just don't get hit.
Just don't get hit forehead. It's easy.
It's really that easy.
Fair enough. All right. You are you gonna run any other games in the future? Or are you just on the content
Probably.
grind for this? Oh, okay.
To be fair, I do get to have free content from Deltarune for the next like 10 years, so I'll be
Yeah,
set
because
on
the
that.
chapters are gonna release like once every 5 years or whatever it is.
Just keep them Keep them coming, baby.
That's a lifetime of content.
Yeah, I really have to shout out Toby Fox when I decided to go full time with this content creator thing in September of 2021, and then 1 week later, he's like, "Hey, I'm releasing chapter 2." Thanks. That really helped.
Nice.
Kind of
Gotta
needed that
respect it.
actually.
Yeah. There you
Toby's
go.
really looking out for me,
Well, I appreciate his help in your career, I guess. Anyway, what are those? You said other games, yes, though.
Yeah, eventually, probably.
Do you have any idea what they would be? Are you just like,
No idea.
okay. Well, it's. I was gonna say it's nice to have a plan, but maybe it's nice to not have one. I don't know. What do I know? I'm just an idiot on the internet, interviewing people.
You think I planned this shit?
Listen, I came up with the idea to do this interview show while I was trying to sleep one night, and then the next night I made it a reality. So I'm not much of a planner myself, let me tell you. It's hard. Too
Big fan of how
stressful.
this video of yours just cuts away to all of like the face cams afterwards.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite part. I have them so they all end on the same frame, so then you can see all the reactions at the same time. That was the whole point. It's just I don't know, something about it. It's very cool. It gets like you can listen to the whole thing, and then at the very end, it's just like, well, ear rape time.
Yeah, hit him with the, you really hit him with that.
Yeah, hit him with the yeah. Uh, I had to do so much audio editing for that. Like their volumes are everywhere, so I had to like lower like half of them, but it's very particular. So I had to listen to the ending like 100 times to get it all like normalized. So yeah.
I mean, listen, they Mario speedrunners are pretty decent at popping off, but I think I still have pretty good pop offs. I think like my pop offs go something like something like that.
That's
I'm not
pretty
even sure if I
good.
came
It's
over the
pretty
mic.
good. No, no, that was loud and clear actually, but
Yeah, I sound like a fucking dinosaur.
eh, if it works.
Oh man, that was like a 8 months build up.
Hey, I mean, the pop-ups are best when they've been built up over months. Hell, I
Next time I gotta one up, I gotta have that hungry box knock myself out kind of pop off.
literally passed the fuck out from the pop-off.
That's one of the funniest clips on Twitch is him just
Just
and then the
literally.
10 gifted subs immediately is what makes it for me.
Oh, I didn't even see that. I'll need to rewatch. Yeah. Pop up. I was never much of a person that pops off. Like, usually I'll get a world record and say, wow, this run fucking dog shit. But,
See, I don't like doing that. I
yeah.
like making sure that people know that my run is fucking awesome.
Yeah. Well, when you are the biggest self-deprecator ever, you're the opposite. But,
Nah, you gotta know to hype people up.
yeah, I'm learning. But
Because everybody's gotta know how fucking cool I am.
I've had like 2 world records that took over a year of grinding, and after those, it's like, okay, holy shit. So,
Sometimes you'll get that run that you're so satisfied with, and then you'll just be like, damn, where do I even go?
damn, it's over. I'm done.
It's Jover.
It's a Jover. True.
It's Super Mario Brover.
Super Mario Brover. That's the next game I want. Screw this wonder shit. Tell me it's Super Mario Brover, and I'll salute the game off forever.
Finally.
Finally. God. I
So
think
do you have any other questions you wanted to ask, or?
I think I'm running out of the things I can
Because
think of.
I'm getting kind of sleepy.
Sleepy.
I'm
Am
gonna
I
be
am I boring you?
No. I just gotta hype myself up so I can edit videos.
Oh,
It's
yeah. Now I know why you're sleepy. Now I
the
understand.
classic.
Yeah, dude. I want to edit shit, but whenever I try, I'm just like, I hate my life, and
I
I
hate
just
my
don't.
pretty much.
Uh, Actually, there was a panel at GDQ. I don't know if you saw it. It was like all the content creators. They did like a little panel talking about it. Uh, uh,
No, I didn't see it.
okay. Well, there was one. It was pretty good. I got a front row seat, so I got all the information. But I asked a question because I was curious. I said, "What's the part you guys hate doing the most, and what do you do to like get over hating it? Like, what do you do to do it anyway?" Everyone said editing sucks, and I was just like, "Well, shit. That's not what I wanted to hear, but I guess it's true.
Just part of the job.
Part of the grind set. We'll see." You see, these are easy. I don't have to do any editing. I just upload the full VOD and call it a day, and then I get like free watch hours. That's the good shit. I've gotten over
Oh,
a
yeah.
1,000 extra watch hours.
Ooh.
Like someday I might actually be able to make money on YouTube because I've still never hit the 4,000 quota or whatever it is. I think it's 3,000 now, but it still says 4,000 on my Ute studio. Who knows?
Something like that. I don't know what the new guidelines are. I was thankfully grandfathered in from the old system
I
back
see.
when it just needed 1,000 subs and nothing else.
Oh, damn it. I missed out. I've had 1,000 subs for like a year and a half. God damn it.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Sag. Very sag.
And just started uploading videos.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll figure it out someday. At least some people have. I'm glad I can talk to so many people that just have silver plaques and know what the fuck they're doing. It helps a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah, it's very shiny. Ooh.
This part isn't actually silver. This is glass.
Yeah, I figured.
Very reflective glass.
I'm sure the silver part isn't actually silver either, so.
Probably not. No, I think
No.
the gold play button actually is gold though.
Really? I guess
might
it
be.
is
I
just
know. I
the.
mean,
It's just
I
the
know
play
the
button that's gold.
I know the diamond. Yeah, it's just this part.
Yeah, that would be it.
And then for the diamond one, they do the same thing. This is made of diamond.
Interesting.
But that's 10 million. I think there's like
Yeah, I guess at that point you're giving them so much money. They're like, here's a
it's
fucking
not that
diamond.
many people with a 10 million play button.
There's a surprisingly good amount though, like more than you'd think. So there is that. But gold win. That's the question.
Eventually.
Eventually, it'll happen though. Confidence. Confidence is key. All right. I can end it here unless there's something I missed.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
I need to put my eye drops in and all that good stuff.
All right. Well, we
'Cause
can
I
end
had
it here then.
laser eye surgery 2 weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
That
don't have
go
to wear
well?
contacts anymore.
Oh,
Yes,
cool.
it did. Oh,
Cool.
they're basically fully healed up now. It's pretty fucking sick.
That's cool. Nice to hear things go well. I've always had 20/20 vision, but I'm waiting for the inevitable. My eyes fucking die from looking at a CRT too long or something.
My vision was awful, terrible, bad.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll worry about that when the time comes. Until then, if you want to self-promote, go ahead.
Ladies, if you liked this tweet, you might like this button.
Well then.
You ever seen those?
I don't think so.
Those people will have a banger tweet and then they'll get paid by like some vibrator company to like promote their shit.
Oh no, I definitely never heard of this.
It's like, nope, I'm not doing that.
All right. Yikes. Anyway.
You can follow me on YouTube, Shayy. You can look me up on Twitter. Follow me at Shayy_TV.
Hey, look, all of that is on stream
know.
right now because
I don't have too much to say actually, other than that. I don't do the self-promotion thing very much, except in my videos where I remind you that the majority of my views aren't actually subscribed to the channel. If you really want to support
True.
the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and maybe leave a like on the video. Leave a comment down below telling me how much you fucking love me.
There you go. If that's not great self-promotion, I don't know what is. That sounded perfect. All
Gotta
right.
show the little analytic card.
The
like-
analytic card.
It does work. It does.
Mm.
People, I tried. I was like, does this work? And then I put it in my video. No, it works. Oh man, it works.
It's the YouTube secret strategies. Like
It like
People
I
meme
thought
it, but
was
it's
like
true.
just egotistical, and then I put it in one of my videos and saw like maybe 30 times as many subs from that video. I'm like, holy shit!
I love
it really
using.
does work.
Speaking of things that work, the YouTube or the Twitch feature of shoutouts, that is actually a good implementation that I love to shout out. I shout out the
Rare
shoutouts
Twitch
every time.
implementation.
Very,
yeah,
very rare Twitch W.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yep.
I'll do my ending stuff now. Hi, Twitch. since you're watching here. This episode won't be uploaded until next Sunday if you missed some of it, because this was recorded in advance for pace. I will be gone. Oh well, but it'll get there.
What?
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm not doing anything.
Oh, I see you. Don't worry.
No, I was doing doing the Morbius thing.
It's Morbin time, as they say. Anyway, yeah. If you're watching this on YouTube, there'll be another episode next Sunday. I release these every Sunday. I haven't missed a Sunday. This is episode 21, and I haven't missed a Sunday. I'm so good at this. You were staring into my soul, so I think that's I think that's a good time as any to end it there. All right. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Bye. Have a good one.